He wants to join too. This guy came in at the last second, but I'm gonna throw him in. So we got a 6-man panel, y'all. I'm gonna be just swapping us in and out, but we gonna keep Didi in because he the guest for today.
What'd you say?
But we gonna keep Didi in because he knew, so we gonna keep him in for today. But
Okay.
and we got Deontay on standby right now. But anyways, guys, welcome back to the Chicago Conservative live stream edition. We got a full panel today, guys. Overly full panel. Okay. So today we got Jared. We got what's really going on in America. We got Squid. We got Mr. Dennis. We got Mr. Deontay. And we got a newcomer here, guys. He also got a podcast as well. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him as well. And his name is Didi. So introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know who you is.
Absolutely. My name's Demetrius. I go by Didi for short. As my man was just saying, I have a podcast here on YouTube called Didi Got a Podcast. I've been podcasting for probably 3 or 4 years, and yeah, man, super happy. I'm new. I'm not just new to the panel today, but I'm fairly new to the Chicago Conservatives YouTube channel. I found him in the past couple of weeks. Very articulate guy, very informed. I love listening to intellectual individuals that think for themselves, and so I'm excited to be on the panel today.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's an honor. And I think he got over 90K subscribers, guys. So definitely go check him out. He doing something right. So make sure you guys go check him out, leave a sub. And
I'm gonna give him a sub right now
if you guys see the headline. Yep. And also we gonna get Deontay in here for a second because I'm gonna just be swapping myself out, guys. I gotta be the sacrificial lamb for today again. So let me swap myself out, and I'm gonna have Deontay say what's up, and then we just gonna start the show.
Hey, Deontay, you're on.
What's up? How you guys doing? You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, then. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we got 6 people here. Okay, I mean we got 7, I believe. 1, 2. Yep, I think we got 7 people. Yep. So I just want to let him know that he's not gonna just be on the sidelines. Okay, but today, guys, we're gonna be talking about something very, very good. Now, Trump reveals that he is willing to send troops to Chicago, Illinois. Now, before we get into this subject, I need everybody's opinion on this. A lot of people are calling it racist, what Donald Trump has done in Washington, D.C. when it comes to the crime. Now, I tell people this. It's not racist if black people are the ones committing the crimes. Now, if you guys are aware of this, there have been 0 homicides since Trump has done this in Washington, D.C. Now, this just explains and this proves that this actually works. More military, more police troops, less crime. So, in my opinion, I think Trump should do this in Chicago, and I think he should go to LA next. Then I think he should go to New York, and then I think he should go to Baltimore next after that. St. Louis, you name it, So what do you guys think? And I actually want to start with Didi first. So tell us, what do you think about Trump deploying the National Guard to Chicago?
Didn't know that this was even a thing, bro. I was aware of what was going on in DC. I knew about the crackdowns on that, but another YouTuber that I follow, all I saw was the title of the video, and he was saying that his positioning is that he believes that it's unconstitutional. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't fully looked into or read into the granularities of what this would look like. Listen, if the goal is to crack down on crime, if it's constitutional, if there's no laws being broken, baiting me with it's racist or it's only after black people or only after colored people, I don't care about that. I care about saving this country. Somebody doing something to try to save this country instead of just almost enabling it. And I feel like that's what's happened definitely over the past 4 years, with a plethora of other things as well. But as long as it's constitutional. Now, I'm going to be somebody that's going to give. I'm consistent across the board, not just when it comes to the left, but also when it comes to the right. Do it the right way. Do it the right way. If I don't care if you're Trump and you're saving us from the lunacy that we've been dealing with and the radicalism we've been dealing with from the left over the past, I say 4 years, but I mean, well before that point, things have just become so much worse over the past 4 or 5 years. But just do it the right way, and you'll have my support. But what I don't want to do is be ignorant and speak on something or get ahead of myself speaking on something that I haven't fully read into. And so I'm sure other people on the panel will probably know more about what this looks like and will be able to educate me. But I'm a fan of it as long as it's constitutional. If it's not unconstitutional, I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
And let me piggyback off what he said. First off, if anyone's going to claim it's unconstitutional, they need to bring me the quote, the direct quote of the amendment that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because many people will say, oh, something's constitutional or unconstitutional, and hardly have a quote about it whatsoever. This is why I like the Constitution Party so much better than most other parties, because everything is quoted. It's not just a claim, it's quoted and backed up by what's documented.
Well, I think it's a couple. It's multifold because he can send the National Guard if the governor and the mayor, if this is a coordinated effort between them, he's already sending it. It's not just Illinois and it's not just Chicago. So there's 19 other states across the country that's going to be part of this wider crackdown. And it's not just on crime, but it's also on illegal immigration. So they're addressing multiple things, but I can give you the states: Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, which is my state, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Wyoming. They're all getting a complement of National Guard members, and it's 1,700 is how many he's committing. And it's to do both. They're really dealing with the illegal immigration, but crime is a component. And people have seen what is going on in D.C., like you all were talking about, that, hey, we want that same thing here, but it's going to take, it will take J.B. Pritzker to say, yes, we need assistance with it. And the question is, do we think he actually would? Because a state of emergency, he's got a lot of authority when it comes to declaring states of emergency. But my understanding and my reading of it is that he can't do it unilaterally in another state without the governor, because it's their National Guard. The governor is just like Trump is the commander in chief of our military, the governor is commander in chief of those National Guard forces. So it takes there's titles and things like that. I forget the titles. It's like title, I won't even remember. I should know this because I lived it for so long, but there's federal use of federal soldiers, federal troops on local soil. But then there's also the National Guard enabling law enforcement and ICE as part of a separate title that gives him authority to do it. So it gets complicated, but he can't do it unilaterally without the governor, is my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Mr. Dennis. I see you.
Well, I truly believe. Well, Trump do have the right, because you got to remember back during January 6th, Congress passed the Insurrection Act that the president can so use the National Guard for whatever it's used. So Trump is using the Insurrection Act, if so, states like in Illinois, California, or New York at the same time. Now, here's the thing. The Pritzker is not going to try to cooperate with Trump because he's going to lie. All Democrats lie about
Absolutely
crime.
not.
Crime is down. That's their talking point, or they emergency cry, because they know they're going to lose the seat. They ain't going to get the seats. They're not going to get the Senate. and they're not going to try to get the White House. That's not going to happen. So when you have people like Pritzker and Brandon Johnson and all these Democrats over here saying, well, crime is down, Trump don't need to bring in the National Guard. It's not what the politician need, it's what the law-abiding citizen need to be protected by the thugs, criminals, degenerates of all kind, raw off hand. So in a sense, Trump do have the authority. All he got to do is use the Insurrection Act, raw off hand. And even if it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, now he got to go to Congress to extend it. But he do have the right to pull in the National Guards on these states that are not willing to protect the citizens. Now I use the word citizen, natural born in the United States, against criminals, and especially against these illegals. And I think it's a good move that he do bring the National Guard here in the city of Chicago, not only to clean up the crime that's been written around here since the beginning of time, but also get rid of half of these illegals as well.
Let me ask a question then. So with the Insurrection Act, it's for civil disorder, insurrection, and armed rebellion. Do you think there would be enough support?
Hold on. I think we got Alan, man. Alan in here too, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. Let me swap myself out and let Alan say what's up to everybody, y'all. Be nice, okay?
Hello? You guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man.
All right, evening, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Good to see you again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Or good to hear from you again.
Yeah, no. What's the all right? What you guys talking about?
Right now, we're talking about the deploying of National Guard or the federalizing of National Guard in Illinois, specifically Chicago.
Okay.
I guess we could cover the case we've made. So,
Sure.
Mr. Dennis had said that he's definitely pro National Guard, and don't let me misrepresent you, Mr. Dennis, but definitely pro National Guard coming in as part, Trump federalizing them, bringing them in to deal with the crime problem in Chicago. And the point I was about to make was, do we think that there's enough popular support in Illinois and Chicago to bring in the National Guard and have it federalized? And do you think there's a case to be made? This is what I was going to ask Mr. Dennis. Do you think there's a case to be made that civil disorder or because it's not armed rebellion and it's not insurrection, but do you think civil disorder is to the point that the case could be made?
Well, to answer to your point, now to answer that's a very valid point. Yes, it is, because Pritzker don't live in a gated community with armed guards. Brandon Johnson lives with 150 detail. The Chicago Police Department are there's only 2,000 to 3,000 officers in the Chicago Police. They underfunded. They working overtime. They getting killed more than random citizens are in the city of Chicago. So yes, it's not about me being pro guardsman, even though I was a pro guard. I was an ex-guardsman myself before I retired. But it's all about safety and protection of the people of Chicago. You got to look at one thing. When the Democrats, especially Pritzker and Brandon Johnson, say crime are down, the question is, which crime are really down? Is it property or violence?
I think that's a good question, actually. Hi, Dennis. Also, I don't think that you were on the last one. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
No, I think. Does anyone else have a thought on that?
No, I guess I don't understand. I don't understand. Can you restate the question, Dennis?
Well, it's not a question. What I'm saying is, when JB Pritzker and Brandon Johnson keep on saying that crime is down, the mayor of D.C. said the crime is down. The past mayor Lori Lightfoot said crime is down.
Which crimes we're talking about?
Which crime is down? You got two types of crime now. You got criminal, which is under violence, like carjacking, murder, and stuff, or is it property crime? So they don't. These Democrats do not specify which crimes are down, but we as people, we witness that crimes are not down. You had 2 weeks ago, we had a 73-year-old woman got shot in front of a senior citizen house because a group of young thugs over here want to shoot somebody up, no matter what. When Brandon Johnson was being confronted, what did he do? He walked away. When J.B. Pritzker back in 2022, okay, it was a Highland Park massacre on the 4th of July. Okay, now because Pritzker, he didn't sign the PICA Act until he got pressurized. He was being pressured by.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr.
I'm
Dennis,
used to
but
it.
we got another person in the panel, guys. We got Mitch in the panel. So we got approximately
Wow.
man, we got a lot of people, yeah. So I'm gonna be swapping people out. I'm gonna let Mitch say what up. So I'm finna swap myself out and let Mitch back in. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do the best I can.
You're all good.
I'm gonna fix it up next, guys.
All
I
good,
ain't know it's
brother.
gonna be this many people. But let me put Mitch up in there. But yeah, continue, Mr. Dennis, with your statement.
Okay, so after the Highland Park massacre, that was one massacre that happened in Highland Park on the 4th of July in 2022. But look how many times that people being victimized of not gun violence, but criminals using guns in the city of Chicago. J.B. Pritzker did not come down to Chicago to say what's it's tragic that people using guns for a violent act. But here is one person who shot about 4 or 5 people in Highland Park. And then here comes the PICA Act. So, what is good for the goose and what is good for the gander? Because these politicians use this all the time. So it's not about me being pro-National Guardsman. I'm all about pro-safety with the use of the National Guardsman if necessary.
Yeah, I've thought about this from it's a revitalization that has to happen in places, and the one thing you have to have is security. And I can't speak from like where I live because I live in a small, relatively rural place. But when I was overseas, it was it's always the first thing you have to do is have security. If there is no security, there is no investment. If there is no investment, there are no jobs. If there are no jobs, then you get kind of the situation you have in a lot of these places, or if there aren't enough jobs. So yeah, I see where you're coming from, and the crime stats. We saw it in D.C. that the one of the Metro Police. I can't remember it was what their position was, but they got fired.
He was a commander. He was a commander in D.C.
Right, was cooking the books on the crime stats to show the drop.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that people are going to have to do in Chicago is say, what are the actual crime stats? Because if you say that it's static, but people are feeling the heat more in their day-to-day lives, that's a time where it's okay. Maybe are the books being cooked, or I don't know. That's a hypothetical. But
let me respond to that.
Can I ask a question of you guys? If you mind if I step in for a second?
Sure.
I don't mean to cut you off. Dennis, I really appreciate hearing your point on that. And you said that you were a guardsman yourself?
Yes, I was.
How would you specifically, but any of you guys, with the deploying of anywhere, let's say Chicago or any of these places that he suggested, what would it look like to you? What do you think the most optimal? Do you want soldiers on every street corner? Do you want them congregating in certain areas? Do you want them ready to go in case a shooting does happen? Or do you want them to be patrolling? Like, what's the perfect way of handling this?
All of it, yes. Do all of it, for sure. And for me, I used to live in Chicago. I live in Rockford now, but I do security at Arthur High School and security as far as stores, hotels, and you need security. And being in security, I got a chance to work with officers and work with the officers. They're not racist. They're not mean. They actually out there are trying to protect people out there. It's just the community get a misunderstanding. And that's mostly Democratic cities, and that's the issue. They not taught well. Or they always taught is, you let the police officer stand your ground, and that's the wrong way to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a problem saying yes, no, I understand. Pressing the officer, but don't be so outraged with it, belligerent. And that's the issue. Just go ahead and comply. At the end of the day, if you're not a criminal, you going to keep going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have one thing, a little pushback. Well, not actually a pushback. I actually agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I'm not going to speak on the area that I live. I can't say that I live in Chicago. I don't know everything about it. I appreciate your perspective on 100%. I guess the only thing that I'm kind of disagree is the fact that a lot of the wording that the administration's been using about the deployment is referring specifically to the illegal immigrant crisis and deportations. And there's, as you see with a lot of on the street footage of what's going on in DC, even if crime is down, a lot of these guardsmen are kind of just hanging around. A lot of them have just been standing in formation, just not doing much at the moment. And I think
But
that's a lot of that's. I mean, it costs a lot of money to do this. And I guess
Yeah.
my question is how much faith, especially if they're mostly doing this. Well, like he said, he wants to send them to like Wyoming to figure out the illegal situation. Do you think that if a bunch of soldiers are just deployed in Chicago, do you think they're mostly going to focus on homegrown crime and stopping shootings, or do you think they're just going to go in, try to get illegals, and get out? Because that's where I think is most likely going to happen.
I think it needs to
well,
do both.
for me to answer that question, I say all of them, raw offhand, because it's still
Okay,
categorized. It's still going to be categorized under crime,
right.
whether they are illegals or citizen. They
Well,
still commit crime. What type of crime they're going to commit, we don't know. But the whole point of the president of the guards is to de-escalate the crime, de-escalating the shooting, de-escalating the carjack, de-escalating the senior citizen who cannot even walk across the street to get their medication. So it's all about de-escalating
yes,
crime.
I
Now,
have.
All right.
now,
I got. Oh, sorry.
now, to be honest with you, personally, I prefer for them to be armed, raw saying, because you're gonna have some degenerate individual who
Mhm.
gonna trying to test the National Guard, and the National Guard don't go by the rules except for the rules that is present to them. They're not gonna go by what Brandon Johnson say. They're not gonna go by what J.B. Pritzker say because they're gonna be under the federal authority of Donald Trump. So it's more. So if you say, well, we're going to deploy the illegals with the criminals, well, some of them are committing crimes too at the same time. So yes,
Sure.
clean the city up the way they need to be clean, raw thing.
Can,
And
can
see
I
them.
ask?
Oh,
I
let me
just
make
have
one
one
more
small
point.
thing. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
And then here's the thing: these politicians and some of these individuals talk about we don't need a national guard in. So you
That's
not
ridiculous.
pro safety, you pro criminal.
Well, I don't think that calling for the demilitarization of the homeland is necessarily pro-criminal. I think that it's mostly that the militaristic American way can seem kind of foreboding sometimes, and I do kind of agree with that. I don't think we need to abolish the National Guard. Of course, we need that. I guess my only issue, and I'm a young fellow, so I'm not gonna act like I know everything, but what kind of bothers me is that there's these areas of the United States have been flooded with crime, like violent crime, horrific things, and all it took, no politician or federal politician at the very least, anyone in the White House has been like, yeah, we should go put the military down there
Right.
until it's about illegal immigrants. Does that bother you that it took up until a deportation crisis for them to finally be like, yeah, we should do something about this? It
Well,
Yeah.
feels
you talking
like they've
about?
been
Are you
neglected
talking?
forever.
Are you talking about under the Trump administration or the
No,
Biden
just in general.
Generally,
No,
administration?
no, no,
generally.
not Biden. Neither. I'm not trying to get into, left or right. I'm just saying like the U.S. government has
It's
neglected
never been done before.
this forever. So what bothers me and what makes me feel a little more uneasy about the deploying of National Guard across the country, just point blank, is that it took one specific issue to do it. It doesn't seem incredibly genuine to me that they're
So
actually trying
Alan,
to solve crime. You get what I'm saying?
so Alan, so
Sure.
Alan. First of
Sure.
all, hi,
Hi there.
how's it going? You're my best friend. You know that, right?
All right, sounds
So
good. Nice to
I gotta
see you.
say this before
Uh-oh.
Sure.
I gotta say that before I say this. So, well, first, let me just
Uh-huh.
ask you: do you believe that criminals who do heinous acts like shooting people, trafficking drugs on the streets, gangs and things like that, sexually assaulting women, do you think these
Sure.
people belong in jail?
That's a complicated question. I'm pro death penalty, which is strange for a liberal, I'm realizing. But I do. It depends on
Hold
the
on,
crime.
guys.
I mean, do you want?
We
Would you
got
want me to
somebody
say
else
that?
joining.
Hold up. Hold up.
on. We got somebody else joining. We got to add some diversity, guys. We
All right,
gotta
I
add
know.
some
I do want to
diversity.
answer that question though. I'm gonna hang up on that.
What's going on, Nicole? I didn't know it was gonna be this many people today, guys. It's like
Hi, Nicole.
way too many folks.
Hey y'all, what's going
What's
on?
going on?
Hi there.
Hey. So go
Hey.
go ahead. Continue with your statement, Alan. I'm sorry about
Okay,
that.
so no, you're all good. Hi, Nicole. How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
I think we're all right.
Good.
Good.
So, what answer would you like me to give there? Do you want me to? Do you think that I'm pro-criminal because I'm not
I'm
for
not
the
trying to
National Guard?
look. It's
Like-
not a trick question, Alan.
Okay, fair
Alan,
enough.
I
Well,
promise it's
my
not.
genuine
I'm not trying
answer
to get you
is
in the mood.
that I think it depends on the crime. I think that if you commit first-degree murder, I think that there is a serious
Well, he
consideration
listed
for
the
you
crime.
to be killed by the state. But I don't think
But
that.
they did the crime though, so that's the thing. It isn't a
Do
hypothetical.
you think that
Alan.
Do you think that drug traffickers should be killed?
That's not what he asked. He said, "Do
I
you
didn't
think
Why
they
think-
not?
belong?"
Why
Whoa,
not?
whoa,
They've
whoa.
been
So
killing.
you're
they've
asking
been
if they
killing us.
belong in jail?
I didn't
Oh,
say
are you
kill.
trying
They've
to?
been killing us. Why not?
Wait, are you trying
Wait a
to?
minute.
Are you wondering
Hold
if I would
on.
like them to be
Hold up.
deported? Is that the
Who?
question?
Who?
No,
No,
man.
I'm just confused. I'm sorry, boys. I'm trying to follow here.
No, Alan. It's not a trick question. I promise to God, it's not, dude.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
do.
believe that
I
murderers,
believe that.
men who assault women and
Yes.
drug traffickers, do you believe that they should be either deported? But we're not even talking about ICE here,
Okay.
Alan.
Okay.
Like, we're talking about National
Yes, they
Guard.
should be incarcerated. I think that if you commit specifically sexual assault.
Hold on. I think you're
that's
getting
like-
confused a little bit. I think you're talking. I think you're getting it.
Should
confused with
criminals
ICE.
be in
We're
jail?
not
Yes.
talking-
The answer is yes, categorically. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. No. So we can agree on that, right? Right. Not a trick
Yes.
question. So this is what Trump is doing in Washington, D.C. He's cracking down on crime. There have been
Sure.
0 homicides since Trump has done this. Can we both agree that that's good, Alan? I don't want to be a nemesis.
0 homicides? No, of course. Yeah, of course I agree that that's good. And I'm going to say this now just to make sure that we get that.
The motive. He's
I
questioning the motive.
I am not for crime. I think that criminals should be in jail or at the very least incarcerated in some capacity. I don't think that having military make that decision without trials is a good thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
But see, if you said all that, I'm not saying you pro criminal, but
Sure.
then you make it's like it's like not you specifically, but the theory is
Mhm.
like more victims, raw hand, that's gonna be in the hands of criminals and stuff. Here's the thing: I
So-
went to the Middle East one time.
Mhm.
You cannot even steal a candy bar unless they cut your whole hand off. Now that's under Sharia law, Ralph hand, which I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to have half of them to be deported there in Saudi Arabia and somewhere in the Middle East. But
Okay.
my point is this here, is that the Chicago Police Department is undermanned because of the Lightfoot administration.
Sure.
Then it followed up with Lightfoot twin brother, Brandon Johnson,
Yes.
who defunded the police during his campaign speech. And that's what he ran on. Not only he ran off of that, but he ran off of a lie to get into office with the help of the Chicago
Yes, he
Teachers
did, and
Union.
I am vaguely aware of this.
Right.
It's not great.
So
I agree
that's
with it.
and then he's doing good because he got 150 details that protected not only himself but
Yeah.
his wife and kids. What about the kids who've been victimized of violent crime?
It's
What
incredibly
about women
hypocritical.
who've been
It's incredibly
victimized
hypocritical.
of violent crime? So yes, bring in the National Guard so this mess could be straightened out. Will it be
I guess-
straightened out afterward? We don't know.
But what if?
However-
I guess my question.
Let me ask a question. Can I get up in here and ask a question just real fast?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sure.
Yeah.
And maybe this will buy a little bit into what Alan is saying, because I kind of agree with some of his premise or what I perceive his premise to be. What does it look like exactly for the National Guard? Because I'm thinking about it from a manpower perspective. Yes, I support cracking down on crime. But is the idea of what the National Guard deploying the National Guard to city? Will it be the same group just going from city to city? In each city for like maybe a 2 to 3 week period, 2 to 3 month period. What does that look like? And Alan, a 2-part question.
Okay.
What is it about it specifically that you think could be problematic as far as how?
I think that we got off on the wrong foot. I'm not instantly against everything that Trump does just because I voted blue. I hope you know that. There are things that I agree with. I think that his no nonsense approach to crime can be a good thing. I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing inherently just because I don't like the orange man. I mean, come on now. I will say, though, that I think I don't like being afraid all of the time, personally. And I think that most people aren't a huge fan of having guns in their faces often. And I think that hold on here. Maybe that wasn't the best way to start this, but hold on. I got a point. I think that this can lead to a dangerous precedent. Can we at least agree to that? What happens if we set a precedent of military men on every street corner and then a Democrat gets elected and decides that MAGA hats are illegal and that that's arrestable? I mean, this precedent was already set by Republicans saying, actually, yeah, it's fine to have the military everywhere all the time. What happens if something happens that you don't agree with?
That's a different thing.
I don't think the definition of crime is being changed here, right?
But what if, like, let's say that the liberals are evil and they get elected in 2028 and they just want to ruin America, and there's already military soldiers stationed in every major city. Don't you think that could be?
They can't, because to Didi's point, he's talking. We're not making new laws here. This is enforcing current law, so it's not Donald Trump making up laws out of thin air.
I agree, but what happens? I guess sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, dude. I need to articulate this point better
because that's why we actually have the best documentation in American history in all the world, the Constitution. The first 10 amendments are simply nothing more than basic human rights. So anyone who's creating laws that take away our rights in any form or fashion or tyrants.
Can you remind me of what the 10th Amendment is?
The 10th Amendment, it goes to the states, and that's something Donald Trump did when he brought abortion back to the states.
Sure, but do you think that federally mandating soldiers in every city that he doesn't like, you think that's for the states?
But that was worked out in 1801, isn't that right?
Well, yeah, I mean, this was
Insurrection Act.
This was a while ago.
Yeah, but the thing about it is,
I just see a lot of
federal level would have to come in.
Alan, that was very disingenuous to say, and it was very sneaky of you to say.
No, it wasn't.
No, wait. You don't even know what you don't even know what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay.
You said for him to deploy the National Guard in every city that he doesn't like. Come on, bro.
I mean, it's okay. So cities with high crime rates that he finds to be important enough
in the country that are backed up and supported by statistics. It's not just cities he doesn't like.
So I know. I was just saying,
Alan, do you know the states that he's already planning to send? That we covered this before you came on. Can you read you the states?
He said Illinois, Wyoming, Montana, and there was like 7 that he just.
There's 19. Alabama, Arkansas, Florida. How did they vote? Georgia. Idaho. How did Idaho vote? Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska.
No, so they probably agree with it. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that every state's going to disagree with it.
Right.
Well, no, but you said he's going to deploy them in cities that he doesn't like.
No, that was a dumb thing to say. I agree. Okay, what I meant was he looks at a statistic. The White House looks at a statistic, not the local governments, and they go, all right, crime's really big in this area. We're going to send some boys in. I don't necessarily agree with that concept as an abstract. I think that it makes a lot of sense. And if it works, then I'm all for it. All I want is a better America, guys. I don't hate everything that a Republican does just cause. I mean, like, yeah, if this works, I'm going to be ecstatic about it. I'm going to be more than happy.
Alan,
can I make one other?
We're going to get your opinion in like 2 seconds, but I just want to play this clip first, guys, because it's actually this guy Valium in the back. So I just want to play this clip, and then I want you guys' opinion on it right after. Okay, it's only 27 seconds, so like 30 seconds.
Okay.
So let's roll this clip.
And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location, and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And
Sure.
we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough.
Okay, I have
And
a
we
thought on
haven't had
that.
to
Do you mind
bring-
if I say?
Go ahead. I know you
It
got a
seems like,
thought
am
on
I
it.
the
Go
only one that
ahead.
disagrees with you guys? Are you guys all are you guys all mostly conservative?
Well, first,
I'm-
I have to get some order in this panel, guys. I'm trying to swap everybody out as much as possible, but it's getting really, really tough because I can't keep up with everybody. But
That's fair.
yes. So first, I want because who didn't speak yet? I want Nicole, and then I want to get Deontay back in and then I want to get Mitch back in there too. Then Squid, and then Mr. Dennis, and then Jared, and then so on. But Alan, since you already talking, okay, let's get your opinion, man, and then I'll just give my rebuttal, and then everybody else can, give their opinion on what we just saw.
Well, sure. I'm seriously asking though. Am I the only liberal here? Raise your hand if you're not.
Sure.
I'm definitely not liberal. So
Okay. So, well, that's mostly why I want to kind of talk. I feel like this is fun. Is this fun for everyone?
Well, what's really going on in America? He's in the middle. So
okay, fair enough. So, how do I say this without sound? I mean, it doesn't bother you even a little bit that there's like 8 people that live in a gated house with like 8 million security guards. They didn't even get elected. Like these people that are making these decisions were put in power by one guy that you like, one guy that you voted for.
Alan, how is that relevant to the crime?
No, I'm getting there. You voted for one guy that you like. He put a bunch of people that you probably don't know too much about. Probably, maybe you do. I'm not gonna. I'd say the average fella cannot tell me Pam Bondi's history as a person. I know her name now, but I'm getting.
Pam Bondi is bad. Pam Bondi is bad.
I'm getting to the point. You like 8 incredibly rich, very out of touch people. Maybe not out of touch in your opinion. Fair enough. In mine, a little bit. Not trying to. They're making this decision. They're making the decision to look at numbers on a sheet and go, yeah, that's one that we should send a bunch of people with guns to. And I think that's really dangerous.
Hold on.
If Joe Biden decided to deploy the National Guard on any of the anti,
I gotta ask you this though, Alan, because I think I'm trying to understand where you're going with this. Do you think Trump is one of these people?
One of what?
The people you're talking about, like one of the 8 people in the gated communities that's making all the decisions and all this. They're like, is Donald Trump one of these people?
Is he not? What are you talking about? He's one of the richest men in America. You're telling me he doesn't have more security than
now, Alan.
Sure.
Alan, you don't have nearly as much money as Trump, dude, right?
No.
Okay. Now, let me ask. Well, I wouldn't know because you probably could be rich. Now, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Did you get shot in the face?
Now that's a trick question. Come on now. We can do better than that. Just say the question.
No. Answer the question. Did you get shot?
Questions usually actually have an equal yes or no probability when you ask a question.
I'm saying that to say money doesn't protect you from crime. Donald Trump.
I understand that. No. I know. I'm saying I didn't even get my first point out. I'm not even trying to disrespect you boys. I'm just saying my point is that you have a very selective group of people that you could not even imagine the shit that they're doing behind closed doors.
But their lives are
for the
still
common
on the
man.
line, Alan.
No, but listen. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pose you a question, and if you say this is disingenuous, fair enough, fine. Maybe it is a little bit. If Joe Biden, I don't like the fucker either. Not my favorite fellow in the world. But if he decided that he's like, wow, all of these anti-abortion protests, I don't like them, and I think that they're going to lead to more crimes, depending on whatever definition of the crime is at the time. Because in some states, abortion is criminal.
Anti-abortion protest isn't. Anti-abortion protests, they're not violent, Alan.
But I'm getting here. I'm saying that once again, you did not elect most of these people. Can we agree on that at the very least?
Yes.
We can agree
on that. So we can agree that some of these people are probably incredible, maybe not probably, but they have a chance, without you even being able to know, of shady past and shady ideas.
Topic, though.
This is on topic, I promise. We're getting on topic. I'm getting back. All right, so to get back on topic, I think that right now, I don't necessarily mind it. I think that the fact that we're putting so much faith into the executive branch when historically this has always turned into a shit
Because it's
show for everybody
working.
else.
It's
It's
working,
working for
Alan.
it's working for what, 2 weeks? This has never been done before. The last time this was done was the War of
The
1812 with the
border
Alien
was
Sedition
secure in
Act.
less than 100 days.
We put in
What are you
okay, so
talking about?
Alan, you have to remember too.
widespread
I'm
military
myself out.
takeovers
I'm
of
putting
American
myself out.
industrial cities does not happen every
that
day.
is
If it works right now,
Alan,
sure.
Alan,
Well,
that's
I got a
hyperbole. That's
suggestion to
hyperbolic.
that problem.
Okay,
I
fair
got a
enough.
suggestion.
Well, what I will
Alan,
say, okay,
Alan,
without any hyperbole, I think
Alan.
that, and I don't really disagree with you guys. I'm saying that I don't love it.
But
like
Alan,
the fact I
But
like
it's
it going to
working.
states.
Hold on,
It's okay. It's
well, here's
it's
When was
okay
the
to be
last
skeptical.
time that you've heard of a country that deployed the military all over during a peaceful time with a good economy? When's the last time you ever heard of that?
when
Alan,
was that?
That's a serious question. That's
I
a
agree.
genuine question. Because I have an answer.
I agree
Hold on,
that you should be
hold
skeptical.
on.
I have an answer for you on that question. It's Afghanistan. It's fucking Afghanistan. After we left, they deployed all the boys, and everyone said, "All right, they're going to clean up." And America left them with just enough where they're going to be able to sweep in and just finish the job, and Afghanistan's going to be
But
fine.
Biden withdrew
Unfortunately,
from Afghanistan.
yeah, and I don't agree with that. I'm not saying. Once again, I'm not saying that I'm not. I didn't vote for Biden. Jesus Christ. What I'm getting at is I'm saying the last time that I saw this happen, when the government was like, "Fuck it, throw the military at it," they all divided into different sects eventually because no one could agree with anything because they all got thrown into different regions that have very different problems. Being told by one guy, "Hey, just go clean it up. That's a good idea." They threw infinite money at it, and now they're broke. Afghanistan was broke to begin with. Obviously, I'm not saying that we're going to go broke off of this. I'm saying that I think that this can turn pretty ugly pretty quick, and I'd rather it go to the states. And even if the states haven't done anything before, wait.
Alan, you've been talking for like 5 minutes. Hold on.
Let me try
That's
to
a
make
good
a
point.
point.
All right,
here.
all right, I'll concede. You're right.
Let
You're
me
right.
see if I can make this point
Let
to Alan.
them cook.
Hold on. Let me make a point to Alan.
I'm
Here's the
listening
thing,
to this.
Alan. The thing about this is you never. What city you out of, if I may?
I'm out of Detroit.
You live in Detroit. Okay.
I'm not going to say I live in the rough area of Detroit. I'm mostly in. You know.
Now we're getting somewhere with this. So so guess what? Chicago, we've been named the murder capital of the country 13 years in a row. We didn't get this with like a badge of honor. We got it because of bad Democratic policy. So it's not like now if you have a Democratic president, the House and Senate run by Democrat, nothing will be done in the city of Chicago because the Democrats always handcuff law and order. Pritzker handcuffed the state police because you cannot pursue nobody in the state of Illinois. You cannot pursue no criminal in the city of Chicago because of what Lightfoot is doing. What Lightfoot put down, and Brandon Johnson is carrying the weight of handcuffing the police. Now, here's the thing: you live outside Detroit, but guess what? Vashon, Nicole, and myself, we experience this on a daily basis throughout our whole adult life. So we're not saying Trump did not say the first thing he's gonna do is you deploy the military. That was the last option because he's been saying it for the past 2.5 to 3 months that he say, well, if they don't get their act together, I'm gonna deploy the military. So that's what he did because of the failed Democratic policy that not only that Mary Obama put in there, Brandon Johnson put in there, Eric Adams put in there, what that crazy nut job Karen Bass put in there. So nothing ain't working in the city of Chicago because of the Democratic Party over here keep on handcuffing us, handcuffing the police, undermining the police, defunding the police, and the police say, why should I keep on working here? But see,
let me say
what we
something,
experience
Dennis.
throughout our adult life, Alan. With all due respect now, you have not experienced the crime that we see on not only a daily basis, but every second of the hour.
So I want to say that one of my best friends is an EMT West Side Detroit. It's fucking rough. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear. My bad. It's rough. It's pretty bad, and it's mostly drug overdoses and violence. That's all you're really getting out of it when it comes down to stuff like that. And I think that, I think that there's better ways of handling this than just putting guns everywhere.
Well,
There's a lot of
what is your
a
solution?
lot of the actual issues that
What is
I've
your
seen.
solution?
What was that?
What's your solution?
My solution is that the police need to be completely revitalized. I think that we have this experiment. If
But
you're
that
seriously
doesn't
asking, I
fix
think
anything now.
Hold
That
on,
doesn't
I
hold
don't
on,
want to
hold on.
defund the police, by the way. I'm not a
Hold on,
defund the police
back
fella.
there.
I'm a restructure and figure out what the fuck's what the problem is.
Well,
Because I
have you
think
ever
that just
asked
being like,
any
the police doesn't
Hold
work,
on,
we're gonna
Alan.
send
Hold
my
on,
guys in. I think that
hold
that
on,
can
Alan.
set a dangerous precedent. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on, Alan. I've been quiet for a little while. First, happy
Yeah, go for it.
Sunday, everybody. Uh, man, like you said, you grew up on the outskirts of Detroit, bro. Right?
Sure.
All right. I grew up in the you wouldn't know these places, but I grew up in the Robert Taylors. I grew up in the Ickies. I'd seen more stuff probably in a month than you probably seen in your entire life.
I'm sure you're right. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend
Yeah.
like I have. I
Yeah,
feel it.
I think people in the panel know about those places from back in the day. I know a few
Yeah,
of them.
definitely. I did.
I grew up on 4941 South Federal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In the back building. Yeah, with all the GDs and everything else.
Yep.
Yes.
The
You know.
Taylor Home Project right across the street from DeSavo.
Yep. See, I didn't see in the younger part of my life so many things out. And
Okay.
I didn't see now back then I used to think like, okay, yeah, Chicago police was brutal. But at the end of the day, they got stuff done in a bad way. I agree with that. Now
I was gonna
I've
say,
been
dude, come on, you gotta admit that it didn't go great
no, I
all the
don't.
time.
No, because some of the things that I've seen, yes, them people deserve to get treated like that.
Uh-huh.
No doubt. You talking about people throwing babies out of the window, bro? Like you have seen nothing. Trust me. So now
No,
you
I'm not
got
done.
yeah, so I don't understand your point of view. Talking about we've lived this life our whole lives, not us just
All right.
being.
That was kind of my original point that the host kind of cut me off on. No disrespect to you. I'm saying, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen it. All I can do is look at numbers and go, okay, I understand this number when I research things. Trump is doing the same thing right now. Do you think he lived it? He's just looking at numbers right now and talking
But
about
No, it's not
see,
politicians.
about the
here's the
numbers. Okay,
thing. Here's
Alan,
the
it's not about.
thing.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me talk.
I'm saying
Alan,
that
it's not
Trump has
about the.
visited
Trump is
Chicago
hearing the
as many
cry
times
of
as
the
I've
people.
visited Southside Detroit, and I've
Alan, it's not about the numbers. We seen this shit our whole lives,
I know, but
bro.
if he's saying that I shouldn't have an opinion because I haven't seen it, then why should the
No,
general
that's not
auditor
what
have
he
an
said.
opinion?
No, he didn't say
Hold on,
that,
hold on,
Alan.
let me
He
get my
didn't
point
say
across.
that.
Alan,
You
if I haven't
you
experienced your life, how
Yeah,
can I tell you anything about that?
I think
Like,
you're
if you
100%
haven't,
allowed to tell me something about it. I've never had an issue with
no, I
that.
can't. I can't.
Why can't
Like,
you?
but Alan,
because I haven't
Alan,
lived in your shoes.
All right,
Alan.
I live in an area with a lot of poverty. You're saying you've never
But
had an opinion on poverty before?
You have is it white
I'm not
poverty or
gonna be
black
mad.
poverty?
I live in a very high Latino and Arab population. You've never had an opinion on that? I'm saying I'm not gonna be mad at you if you did.
But Alan, you
That's not
misunderstood
the
the whole
point,
point I'm trying
man.
to make to you.
Sorry.
And the
Go ahead,
point is
Miss
this
Willis.
here.
I'm
Trump
listening, Dennis.
is hearing, yes, Trump have not experienced it, but he's hearing the cry of the people through media,
Yes, thank
through
you.
social media, through everything. He hear our cries and stuff,
Okay. Yeah, no.
especially here in Chicago through Chicago Flip Red. He hearing the cries of the people of Chicago who saying, Donald Trump, come fix this problem. This mayor ain't doing crap. The police cannot do nothing because they under the order of Mayor Brandon Johnson and stuff. So he's hearing the cry of the people, whether he experienced or not. He's hearing the cry of the people.
Yes, but there's an
He's
equal amount, and
responding.
I agree with you. There's a lot of
Okay,
people that are
guys.
on your side.
I'm gonna let Nicole respond to Alan's point as well, and I'm gonna get Deontay in here as well, and then we're gonna let Didi speak after him.
All right, I'm listening, Nicole.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Well, Alan, you had a lot of points, so I guess
I did say a lot. I apologize. I'm sorry. I got a little crazy. My bad, guys.
No, okay. I will just say right off, just because of what you just said.
Sure.
As far as giving the power to the states, they've had the power. Like Safety Act in Illinois is a piece of shit. You know, they sold it to people as, well, we're going to make it an even playing field and kind of correct some of the economic dysfunction that happens when people, get locked up, don't have bail, can't get out, miss their job, lose their job, etc. And then of course those are cumulative effects that you want to try to circumvent. But we've gotten those shit of the stick. And so, like Mitch was saying, if you live in Chicago, you're going through this stuff, you seeing it day to day. I'm not going to live in some hypothetical scenario where I'm trying to save people's, economic circumstance versus literally people bleeding out and dying in the streets. So to me, like, that supersedes everything else. Like Dennis was saying, Trump is hearing the cry for help. He's addressing the actual fact of the deaths that are happening. When we talk about the crime data, there's literally, they just talked about it in the Metropolitan, police in DC, that they're making some of this stuff up. I'm a criminology major. I know law enforcement. I talk to pretty much everybody I can talk to about these issues. And especially when you're talking to law enforcement and you see it with your own eyes. If you have these apps, the Citizen app, the neighborhood app, Nextdoor app, you're seeing the crime all day long happening. But the numbers they're telling you that it's going down. And of course, you're going to see a drop from COVID because hell, everybody was outside mentally unstable, buck wild, happy to be back outside, or everybody's locked up and the criminals are just running around crazy. And of course, you got the carjacking situation with the Kia problem,
that's crazy.
like that. So of course numbers are going to go down. And then your other point about, I think you mentioned something about gun laws and gun restrictions. Open carry and right to carry states tend to have higher homicides and suicides, but when you look at overall crime, that goes down. So obviously there's some work to be done on looking at, on a social level, how we can kind of balance that out. But you don't want to take guns out of people's hands.
No. I'm actually for open carry
Okay,
states.
awesome.
I don't know if I got to say. I'm very for gun
But when
rights.
you said we're putting guns in everybody's hands, like, people have guns, people that have their guns and have the right to carry, especially in these states where there's a lot of laws around it. In Illinois, there's a lot of restrictions around having a gun. So it's not like everybody just got a gun. And at the same time, criminals don't give a shit about what laws you pass. Okay.
Can I quickly rephrase my statement, because I did say that
problem.
kind of unfairly. No, what I'm saying is that with the rise of, well, you've all seen the videos of these dudes coming out in masks of, like, just guys, just dudes, North Carolina, open carry states, guys showing up with rifles to help ICE or to help police, things of that nature. I think that if that is encouraged by putting more, like, actual military weaponry on the street, I think that could lead to more escalation. That's my point. I don't mind people. I don't mind the average citizen owning a gun. In fact, I think everybody should own a gun. I do mind a call for, okay, so police aren't working, you guys step in, have fun. I don't like that necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think police aren't working. It's the fact that, like, especially like we were talking about in Chicago and Illinois, the police behind these consent decrees, the Laquan McDonald consent decree, but behind all of this anti-police, abolish the police rhetoric, they have been, Willie Wilson ran on this phrase of, we got to take the cuff off the police. Dennis just said it, because literally the police don't know how to do their jobs. They're not allowed to do their jobs. You got all these young recruits that are in there and they've been told, you have to think about all these other things before you actually subdue somebody, before you actually even empathize with the victim. Like, the criminals are getting more empathy than the victims themselves. And to me, that's completely backwards. And until we change that mindset, hell yeah, we need Trump in here because these people are crazy.
Yeah, no, I 100% understand, and I'm not even saying that I necessarily disagree with it. I'll make this quick. I have been rambling a little bit. Apologies, fellas. It's not that I disagree with the fact that our government finally wants to do something. I just think that, from my perspective, I've never been a huge fan of the way that our military operates, and I'll be completely honest about that. I think that I talked about this a lot actually last time, and I went a little out of my depths, but I think that we spend way too much money on our military. I think that this is more of a show of force than an actual, all right, we're going to stay here until the job is done. And I think that if that is the case, I feel like that kind of sucks more than putting more resources into law enforcement and community building. Because I don't think that a 16-year-old Kia boy is going to reform himself after being thrown to the ground by a National Guardsman. I think that he might reform himself if he's talked to by a police officer or community engagement fella.
Nah, you don't know them Kia boys like we know them Kia boys.
No, I mean, fair enough. No, but I'm saying, but you get what I mean, though, right? Like, you kind of get what I'm saying. You kind of get what I'm saying.
I gotta bring some points. Hold up, Alan. Hold up. I'm loving the panel, guys. Trust me, I'm loving. I'm trying to do the best I can.
Thank you, Nicole. Also.
This, but,
no problem. Thank you, Alan.
Deontay to speak now. Yep, and I got the list right here. So I got Deontay, then Didi gonna speak, then Squid. what's really going on in America, Dennis, and then we got Jared and Mitch, guys. And then we're gonna play a clip after that. That's actually playing in the background. But yeah, Deontay, go ahead, give your opinion on what you've been hearing.
Yeah, so me, I agree that the National Guard should come to Chicago because me working in Chicago with security and involver, and especially in Madison and Marion, they during COVID and George Floyd, right? They burned down Madison, and that's real sad because business can't come back. And they had took some National Guard to Chicago, come to Chicago and help out. And I'm glad they did what they had came sooner because Madison not the same. And and then we also carry guns. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust the government at all. You know, you can't trust the government. And these numbers we have out here. So how to, me, I'm all about America, put America first. Other than that, yeah, I got my MAGA hat on, but America first. But Chicago it's a shithole. Apologize for cussing, but it's real bad over there. And like you can go on Facebook and this thing called Chicago Ghetto 2. It's like hundreds of videos of young kids just destroying Chicago on buses and trains, robbing, stealing, punching people in the face, running, just acts of just violence for no reason. And the parents too. The parents need to be accountable for what's going on out there. And that's the problem too. I'm 42. When I was a kid, I was outside from like 9 to 9, kicking at a good time. And no crime. These kids outside from 9 to 9, ain't no telling. And the parents for that. It's all. Yeah, yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, that was it for me for the moment.
So he got the order up here. Whoever was supposed to go next, Dee Dee.
Okay. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing.
But yeah, so man, as I live in Rockford now, there's a big difference. Living from Chicago to Rockford, the price, the space, the air, the people. Well,
So I think Dee Dee's supposed to be next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who have I met Didi? Is Didi in here right now?
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, look like, yeah, okay.
All right. Well, Squid, looks like you're up.
I mean, personally, I've never been to Chicago. I mean, I talked to the Chicago conservative several times about it, and he says it's not a good place to live.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'm just down for whatever happens. To like take down crime.
So, can I ask you a question, Mr. Squid?
You can't go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're
Half of
all
my
good.
argument
No,
makes-
I appreciate
half
it.
of
I
my
mean,
argument makes sense.
and I guess this is a question for all of you, but just to kind of get a better perspective on this, because I do really appreciate you guys sharing your perspectives. You're right. I don't know anything about Chicago. I'm not even going to pretend. I can read stats. I read news things. I read things about your lovely mayor, and I go, that sucks, Jesus. And that's about it. But once again, my main point, because I do agree, and if this does end up working out, I'm going to be ecstatic. That's all I want to see is a better America. I want to reiterate that. I'm not going to go out and protest this just because a fellow with a red hat is doing it. What does bother me is the lack of looking at the future from this that I'm seeing from a lot of young or old conservatives at this point. I think that once again, I think that showing military when things aren't going right leads to more strife and more division typically. And by typically I mean all of the time. They sent I think a good part of it is, so you guys are saying that the Chicago police isn't working, and that's fair. Or not working, but the way that they're handling things with crime is not working. So I mean, let's talk about Eisenhower deploying the National Guard for like the Little Rock Nine. Back in the day, that led to a lot of violence because the police force wasn't cooperating. And if the police force, I feel like getting the police force to cooperate, or not even just police, but just, like local governments in general, reaching deals with them and finding ways to work within the community, I think that it's a better idea overall than just sending the guardsmen in, because the guardsmen are typically 20 to 25-year-olds. They're usually just doing it to do it because they didn't have, and let's be honest, it's not like they spent their entire life wanting to be a National Guardsman. Most of them are just
That's not
kids that
accurate.
most of them are just kids that didn't really know what to do out of high school. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can agree on that, right?
No, that's not accurate.
Really?
There are some of those people, but National
All right,
Guardsmen.
I'm listening.
National Guardsmen, just like reservists, it's more of a problem in the reserves than it is the National Guard. But in the
Okay.
National Guard, these people are tied to their state, and it becomes I don't want to say a good old a good old boy club, but everybody knows everybody because you stay at the same National Guard unit. You don't transfer out because you're home station. If you're in Illinois, you're Illinois National Guard, and it takes a general officer even to leave. So a lot of people, it's they're staying there. They do it because it's a service thing. Some people do it for a little extra money, but everybody that signs on the dotted line understands the responsibilities. That doesn't mean there aren't anomalies, but it's not just a bunch of kids who.
I'm not saying that it's just a bunch of kids. I'm mostly saying that you have but like career guardsmen, even if they are in their like prime, their 30s, they haven't had to do anything like this though. I mean, this is a new thing for this generation.
Not in this era. The young people haven't, but even the global war on terror, the National Guard, the reserves, they were being used heavily in a lot of different ways. And the National Guard actually does a fair amount from the ones that I've experienced. I've only worked laterally with National Guard. I was only Army Reserves.
Okay.
But National Guardsmen, riot control, doing a lot of them they're combat arms units. I mean, they've got their logistics units, but they're prepared for these sorts of things and they understand how to do it. But I know, Dennis, I'm stepping on you and WRGOA on this one. I know what's supposed to be my turn, but this is having the National Guard there. The show of force is incredibly effective in and of itself. So a visual presence is a deterrent, and they're going to be backing up the police with very, very strict rules of engagement, because the scenario they are trying to avoid is service member, because they don't care if it's National Guard, if it's federalized, you're part of essentially fall under active duty military, and people will run the headline of active duty military. Unalive a U.S. civilian. That is a headline they absolutely do not want. And so they're going to give them incredibly strict rules of engagement. They're going to be outfitted, I'm going to assume, I'm only making an assumption, with non-lethal ammunition and things like that, so that there's an escalation of force component to it. So it's not like they're just going to be soldiers sitting on corners like they are. You equated it to Afghanistan earlier, and I think
that might have been a bit hyperbolic.
That's a very, very unfair, comparison. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff they're going to try to avoid. But that deterrent is there, and it is working, like we saw in D.C.
No, I guess I have another question. Where are you, aside from the White House, which we talked about this last time, and we got actually a bit of a consensus, has just like fudged statistics at this point during this administration. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe not, whatever, it doesn't matter, not my point. Are you looking at the data of like no murders in DC? Is that coming from the White House / executive pressers, or is it coming from DC crime statistics?
Well, it's not part of FBI crime stats. That's usually where I go, is to FBI crime stats.
Sure. Okay.
But some departments don't actually report, or they don't report everything. Which is an absolute shame, because it completely trashes all the statistics. But we're getting it from, my understanding is from the DC Metro Police is where those crime stats are coming from.
The last report that I saw, the report that said that there were 0 homicides, came from a White House. At least when I saw it, came from a White House presser. It wasn't
probably, but I mean, they're getting the stats from DC Metro Police. If there was a case out there where they said 0 homicides happened, and somebody said, well, here's the police report that says that this homicide happened here, they lied. If they don't have that, they're not going to report it. Therefore, absence of information is somewhat validating. But we're not going to know officially until another year, when all those stats are actually compiled.
Right, and well, I guess that's kind of I'm starting to agree with you guys a little bit here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I want to say this goes back to what Dennis was talking about before, which is what the stats say versus what is felt by the people there, and those stats are behind a bit. So when people say, "Oh, well, our crime has decreased," we saw, like we talked about earlier, DC fudging the numbers and tweaking it to their benefit. Well, when they tweak it to their benefit, then they can report some drop that actually didn't happen. And then you've got the news cycle, and it's the whole report it on this one and then bury it on fix the correction, that sort of thing. So
I get you.
I would like to add on what he said too. Here's the thing
Okay.
about how it worked. About 60 or 7%, especially here, like what DC did, you have to, in order for you to get a crime dropping, it had to be a police report followed by a prosecution or an indictment, and then sentence. That's when you
Right.
get the crime rate when it go down wrong hand. 911 does not determine that crime is going down, and that's what Mayor Brandon Johnson is doing, and he's fooling the people of Chicago because 80 to 90% of the people of Chicago do not understand how crime reported. They just go by what one man say. Now, Brandon Johnson going by the crime statistic of 2023 or 2024. 2025 haven't even came out yet. And 2025 ain't gonna come out until 2027. And then whoever gonna be the next mayor he gonna say, well, crime is down. Well, you reading something based off of 2025 and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's how they use it. And most time since Brandon Johnson took ShotSpotter out back last year, crime has spiked up tremendously, especially the homicide rate. So this is how the Democrats use crime is going down. They read off something that happened 2 to almost 3 years ago.
Okay. No, I get you. Can I challenge that just a little bit?
Go ahead.
California seems to be a pretty. I'm not getting off topic. I just want to hear your opinion on this. California seems to be a hot topic again for the fellas about their crime rates in LA and the like Democratic controlled areas, and a lot of the statistics I've been seeing used by some of the more conservative pages and stuff I've followed online are coming from 23 and 24 to say that actually they need to be read and the Democrats aren't doing anything. Do you have thoughts on that? Because I feel like it's being used by both sides, and I feel like it's disingenuous both times.
Look, here's my take on this: is that a bad crime rate that has people, scared in their homes, scared walking down the street, whatever it happens to be. A 10% decrease of an already bad crime rate is still a bad crime rate until these levels have to be exponentially decreased. So they say,
Yeah, no, I'm with you,
drop
man.
crime by 20%. Well, that's fine, but 15 people were shot last weekend.
Right.
Okay, that's still a bad crime rate, even though crime is down. So that's the broad talking point, and that's where I would recommend for you, Alan, go and get in the FBI stats and look at it.
I will. No, 100%. I will. I'm interested now to see what they're saying about this. Awesome. Because most of the crime statistics I've used have come from the FBI. I have not had to use any statistics like in my life, like recently, where I've had to like peel through them since probably 2023-ish when I was writing my papers. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I should look into them more. I agree with you.
Alan, you don't. Alan, you don't. The reason why it's hard for you to like get in tune with us is because we don't need crime statistics. We live it. You understand?
I understand. Yeah, I do. But
we see
I'm
it, and
saying
I'm
that
not
the
even
people
in
that
the
are
city
just
anymore, but I still see it out here. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't need statistics from the FBI to see the shit that's going on around here. I don't need that. Man.
I feel it, bro. But I'm saying that
I
the
really
people that
don't.
are the white dudes in power right now are looking at the statistics to decide what's best for you. And you might agree with it. You might agree with it now. You might agree
Huh?
with it now, but what happens if you don't agree with it? Then you might be a little angry that there's just a dude reading off statistics deciding for you.
Alan,
I want what's really going on to America. I think we skipped.
That's my point.
What's really
I guess
going on
that's
in
my
America?
point.
I want him to speak for a second. Let him respond to that.
Yeah, someone please respond to that. I'd love to hear your perspective because that's, I guess, my overall point when it comes to this guard deployment. And yeah, you're right. I don't know an insane amount. This all I know is just like general historical precedent. But I'm saying that when the time comes when you guys do disagree with something this administration does, are you gonna be happy that there's a bunch of dudes with guns enforcing it instead of using more community outreach?
Let me answer that before what's wrong with going on in America. Answer.
Sure.
Like I already disagree with maybe one or two things that's going on in the administration, but that's not what the National Guard is here for. The National Guard is here to do what they got to do. Now, if they start stepping on our freedoms and liberties, that's where we're gonna have a problem. That's what we're talking
fair
about.
enough.
They have a job to do. They have directives to do. Y'all stop this. You stop all the little meaning crime, high crime, and you stop. Get the illegals help with that. That's what you do. Now, if you come stepping on my land and you telling me, hey, I can't have my drink here, I can't have a fire here. Now I have to pull out my weapon on you. That's what
For
I'm saying.
sure.
Leave our civil liberties alone. Our tax dollars for you to keep us safe, overseas and what is it called? Foreign and domestic.
God
Foreign
bless
and
that,
domestic.
brother.
And
Yes, sir.
I don't give a shit. And to be honest with you, I really don't give a shit what color they are. If you
Yeah.
out here carjacking old ladies on a Sunday, like happened last Sunday or Sunday before, carjacking old
Yeah.
ladies on a damn Sunday, going to church or going to the store, just to use her car to rob a damn currency has changed, and you create all this ruckus. Like this ain't what we signed up for, bro. So that's what I said. You
I get
stop
you.
that. You stop that. So when you talk about other things, like if they say, like they had the whole National Guard when they had that old pushing for the vaccine thing, oh, that would have been a problem.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Our civil liberties is ours.
I'm gonna say something. I guess a little personal. It's not too personal. I mean, it happens. I'm sure many people can relate with this. Um, I live in. Well, I'm gonna say. I don't know. Drugs have been a pretty big problem in my family tree. I'm kind of the first to break that cycle in my family. A lot of arrests, a lot of jail time, a lot of overdoses. Not fun. Not good at all. And I have been very for decriminalization of things of such as like marijuana and stuff, for a lot of reasons. But I'm also really, really happy with the way that some Democratic and Republican cities are taking to, instead of just arresting everyone with a crack pipe on them, actually getting them help. And I've been a big fan of that. But I guess what I'm saying is that technically, right now, it is a crime in most major industrialized cities, including Detroit, to have any paraphernalia. That is a criminal offense that can lead to jail time if a judge decides. So, with that aspect of it, technically, it is a crime. And if Trump decides one day, like, well, hey, drugs are bad. I don't know if you guys knew that. We should stop that. Let's go. The military or the National Guard also can be used against that. I'm gonna be not very happy, and that's where I can draw. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I can say that better. Apologies. Uh, it's technically a crime. It's not a crime currently being looked at by this administration as something worthy of National Guard deployment. But if it does become one, it's technically law. But would you guys agree with that? I guess is my question. Would you guys be okay if he decided to get cracked down
WRGOA, I
on?
think it's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will say I'm in full support of the deportations and sending in the National Guard and everything. Because when it comes to national borders, if it's walking across the lines in Mexico or flying in from Germany, illegally trying to stay here, it is a national security issue. So, and if the local government refuses to do their jobs that we pay them to do to keep us first, to keep our to protect our constitutional rights, and then to keep us safe from terrorists, then yeah, let Trump do his job.
But it's
Um,
not his. I'm sorry.
yes, it
Apologies.
is his job as a
I don't think it's his
president to
job at
keep us
all.
safe from national threats, and
It's his
that
job to consult
includes,
Congress and to consult local communities. I don't think it's his
yeah,
job to make blanket statements of there's crime here. I think we should send the National Guard.
and if
That's where I think we're going to disagree.
and if our Congress isn't doing their jobs because they can't pass a bill to do it,
Sure.
then you know what? The president can say, "Hey, it's a national security issue. I'm going to sign an executive order and make it happen." So when they say, "Oh, no kings, no kings," I'd rather have Trump as a king these days. In fact, I just saw a video um ask of a reporter asking a black guy if they would support Trump as a third term, and his response is, "I want him as a dictator." He must be doing something right to have that kind of response, because I never
He
heard
also
that from
must be
any other
doing.
president.
Well, can I say he also
Go
must be
ahead.
doing something wrong to get a whole every single state organizing a protest saying that he no kings,
Oh,
right?
I've been to one of those protests, and
And how
and
was that?
and it's a very very small group of people that was at the protests
Which one
on
did you go
Trump.
to?
But which one?
Yeah.
I live here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and it's a very liberal city. They will vote Democrat even if the Democrats would tax them another 50% of
I
their
do believe that. I do
paychecks.
believe you. Did you go to Philadelphia? Did you see anything about that? Because it was pretty big
No,
over in Philly.
no, I
It was
stick.
pretty big in
So,
Detroit. It was pretty big in Grand Rapids, actually, which was interesting. It was pretty big in my college town. I mean, it was a big deal, even if it wasn't in your city. We can agree on that.
yes, but I don't. But I wasn't there, so I can't exactly comment
Sure.
on it. But I would trust those who never lie to tell me the truth if they were there. Okay. And I'm one of those people who will not lie since age 7, since the last time I was caught in a lie.
Okay.
But here in Allentown, it was a very small group of people, and in a very large city of Democrat voters who hate Trump.
No, I don't think they all hate Trump.
And this is including some Republicans I know, okay, that live in Allentown, and they hate Trump, and they're as liberal as Democrats. So when I went to this No Kings protest and I saw such a small group, it makes me wonder, you know. But anyway, but yeah, it's a national, and actually on the TSA post I saw on Facebook, they actually said all you need to do to enter America is to have a search warrant. Yes, that was posted, and that was during the Biden administration.
The TSA. Whoa. Can you
Yes,
explain that a little
TSA.
further? The TSA.
And
What
I
does the search
actually,
warrant mean? What does that mean?
that means if there's a search warrant, that's when you have an arrest. Basically, if you commit a crime and they have a search warrant for you, they're looking for you to arrest you for a crime that you committed.
In another country?
It happens here in America too.
To become.
This is how
So-
they bring out wanted, this person, description.
Oh no, I understand what a search warrant is, but you're saying that the TS. How does that correlate with people illegally entering America?
Well, all you need. Well, in other countries, if someone wanted to, during the Biden administration, TSA would look at your search warrant and then they say, "Oh yeah, come to America." So,
But if a German man had a search warrant for him, the TSA would be like, "Oh, yep, nope, you're good." That's what you're saying.
Yes,
That happened.
And that's how crime went up.
No,
drastically.
no,
in
you're
this
better than
country.
that. Come on. If you can find me a single example of that actually happening, I will PayPal you $1 billion. TSA, I'm serious about that. If you can find no, I'm not even being. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm serious. If you can find me one federally documented case of a TSA officer being like, "Yeah, you're good because you're a criminal," I will give you all of the money in my bank account right now.
I only said what TSA had posted on the Facebook page.
I also saw Trump post an AI image of him sitting on a throne, and you're trying to tell me.
But this was way before AI technology.
No, I understand that. No, but I'm saying that you find it. I'm assuming you guys find it a little absurd, at least, about these No Kings protests and how he's not actually a king and stuff. But I mean, if you're taking your information off of one post, then I should also take my information off of that post, saying like, "Oh,
I mean,
he's a dictator."
it was enough to sponsor these No Kings protests across the nation for him to post that AI image or even joke about Trump 2028. So,
are we joking about Trump 2028 with you guys? Let's be honest here. Are we joking?
Obviously, we're not.
Yes,
if y'all put all this money and resources,
is it a joke? Okay, cool. I want to make sure because come on. Okay, you guys are very for the Constitution. No, I'm serious. Well, Mr. What's his name? WRGOA?
Yeah. My name's Quinn, if you want to use my actual name.
Quentin? Nice to meet you, Quentin.
Nice to meet you too, Alan. And by the way, Alan, Allen, is my last name.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess my
Crazy.
well, okay, even off of I guess this kind of correlates with the National Guard stuff. I think that the two-term limit that was what is that? Is that the 22nd Amendment? I'm not sure which one it is.
22nd or 24th, I forget.
Yeah,
which.
it's in
It's
that
around
range.
there.
I think that it's one of the best things we've ever done. I think that FDR got a little too wacky near the end of that.
Well, here's why, and here's the thing about the two-term limit that I saw on Facebook, actually.
Okay.
Here, first, I don't support that at all for any side. Because
you think that they should be able to get elected
indefinitely? Because George Washington refused the third term, and he didn't want kings in this country. Secondly, the liberals actually say, "Oh yeah, we'll support that because then we'll get Obama for a third term," and that's exactly what liberals on Facebook said.
No, that's disingenuous.
So it would be Trump versus Obama in 2028 if third term bill passes.
Yeah,
and it would definitely be pretty close because you got liberals and Trump and the conservatives going to be voting. Oh yeah, Obama, yeah.
All right, I got a point on that
So,
one,
Alan,
boys. I have a very strong point on that one. Sorry, just give me like 20 seconds.
Okay, so Alan, I hate to cut you off, but we got one more clip because we almost at the hour and 30-minute mark. I just want to play this clip, and I just want you guys' opinion on this. Just let me play it.
Yeah, sure.
One second. So this is basically Brandon Johnson, what he plans to do if basically the military comes to Chicago. Let's roll this clip, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.
All right. It's not face
and
because
so,
it's funny.
Look, we're going to remain firm. We'll take legal action. But the people of this city are accustomed to rising up against tyranny. And if that's necessary, I believe that the people of Chicago will stand firm alongside of me as I work every single day to protect the people of this city. And so, look, we're going to remain firm. We'll take legal action. But the people of this city are accustomed to rising up against tyranny. And if that's necessary, I believe that the people of Chicago will stand firm alongside of me as I work every single day to protect the people of this city.
Okay,
and
guys.
So, look.
So clearly Brandon Johnson is going to do some sort of legal action, I guess he claims. And he basically wants to fight Donald Trump when it comes to him sending the military here in Chicago to fight crime. Now, why is Brandon Johnson doing it? Is he just doing this out of spite when it comes to Donald Trump? Or does he just not care about the citizens of Chicago? Now, Alan, you just heard it from the horse's mouth when it comes to this progressive mayor, Brandon Johnson.
Sure.
He doesn't want to work with Trump when it comes to getting crime off of the streets. Do you think this is a good idea when it comes to the crime rate in Chicago? Murders
Do you think that he just
skyrocketing?
sits and twirls his beard and just goes, I'm going to ruin Chicago for fun? Or do you think he's actually trying? Let's make a baseline on that.
I mean,
do you think that he's trying,
it's
or
not
do you
far-fetched.
think that he's a genuine evil person?
It's not far-fetched, dude. You got to think about it. These people need something to talk about. It's not just him. It's J.B. Pritzker, too. But here's the thing. I noticed a minute ago, right? And even the media, like, they need a story. Like, let's say there's no crime out here. How the hell are police going to do their job if crime is gone, like, completely? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I feel like some of this stuff is just targeted toward. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I'm with you on that one.
So you don't think that pertains to Brandon Johnson? You don't think that's the case for Brandon Johnson?
No, I think that if he goes and it's with, you have to admit it. You like the Constitution.
So you can't say he's twirling. So wait. You can't say he's twirling his beard, right? And say, I want to ruin Chicago. You can't say that that's not the case, but you agree that this could be a case because they need to.
What?
So you don't think that's a little bit of contradictory?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think. I think that I'm allowed to criticize people without assuming that they're evil and want to hurt me. I don't like.
But you don't.
I'm not a big fan of Colby Covington from the UFC. I don't think that if he was in a room with me, he'd try to kill me. I'm allowed to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't like this guy that much either, based on the shit that I've seen. I'm saying that I think that it's a bit disingenuous to paint him saying, you know what, I'm gonna go to the courts, I'm gonna see what happens, as him like, man, Chicago, it's gonna be destroyed, and I want to be here for it. He's not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
He's not fiddling. He's not fiddling as Chicago burns. You have to admit that, even Nicole. I mean, it's not like he's laughing and dancing about this. He's doing something. You might not agree with what he's doing, but he's doing something. And if he wants to fight him in the courts, it's within his right to do so. So yeah, I support it.
Well,
I support him fighting.
Alan,
it's not like
is doing something. He is doing something. He's making the Chicagoans' life more miserable and putting money in the CTU and the illegals, and helping boosting up the criminals' raw offhand. So he is doing something. He's making the Chicagoan life very, very miserable right offhand.
And that wasn't. Oh, that's gonna sound mean. That sounds mean. But I mean, when's the last time you guys had a Republican mayor?
That sounds mean. Come on, Alan.
No. I was gonna say something. No. I stopped myself from saying something.
Well,
yeah,
let
I'm
me
not saying
ask you
he
a
sounds
question.
mean.
Let me ask you a question. You say the statement I made was mean. But
No. I was saying no. That's not what I didn't say. That I was saying what I was gonna say might sound mean, so I stopped myself. I just thought out loud. Your statement made sense to me. I understand your perspective on that. If you don't agree with what a politician is doing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil. I don't think that Trump's evil. I think that he's just another politician who likes power. Every politician does this, whether I agree with him or not. I mean, I don't think that he's a king. I don't think he's a tyrant yet. I'm saying that I think that presidents being like, yeah, I'm going to throw the military at a problem. I think that that's a little more king-like than maybe I want.
Alan,
if you know, he's a king, though.
Alan, if you know the problem, you know how to fix the problem, you know what resources it will take to fix the problem, and you don't fix the problem or allocate the resources necessary, is that guilt by, I guess, omission or failure to act? I mean,
what do you mean?
Okay.
Can you rephrase that? I'm listening.
Yeah. So if you know there's a problem, there's a crime problem in Chicago, you know what it takes: more funding for police, letting the police have a little more leniency in how they're, pursuing criminals, give them the resources they need to track down criminals and help bring the crime level down. If you know that would help, at least in a big way, help drop the crime, the levels of crime in Chicago, but you don't do it, you refuse to do it. Do you not think that is, I mean, at some level, I would consider it evil, but at some level, it's just, you care more about the politics than you do about fixing the problem.
I suppose that I agree with that in a general sense.
So to get the crime level down in Chicago or in my city or my state, it's Memphis. Memphis has a horrible crime problem. The optics are an increased police presence. There's going to be more people arrested. There's going to be more pushback from gangs and all that. So it's gonna create a spike in that activity. Those optics are bad. Those don't work for re-election. So instead, you do nothing. You let the people suffer through it. And you keep saying that you're going to fix it. It's this cycle of saying, "Oh, we're going to fix the problem next time around. Get me back in office, and we'll fix it." That is a level of evil because you are prioritizing politics over the good of the people that you're supposed to be representing.
All right, I agree with you. I agree with you actually pretty heavily on that. I'm going to challenge you on this. All right. We have, and I'm going to say, and everyone's going to groan at this because I'm just going to sound like some liberal pansy. Fair enough. If you feel like that, that's fine. But hear me out seriously. We have more school shootings per capita than any country that's ever existed ever and ever will exist. Let's be honest about that. Do you think that Trump refusing to acknowledge it, do you think that makes him, do you think that Republicans in Congress refusing to pass gun bills, even if you don't agree with it, they are trying to do something? Do you think that all of those things are also an omission or apathy? Do you think that that's fine?
Let Nicole answer that question. I want Nicole to answer that.
I'm listening, Nicole. That's a real question.
I mean, so I'd have to look at the stats on like how much control of the House and the Senate Democrats have had at a time where they have had the opportunity to pass gun control legislation if they wanted to.
I can show you. I mean,
yeah, okay. I would be interested in seeing that because I think there was a time when they could have passed it without Republican help. So if that was the issue, then they should have done that. Like there's a perpetual grift that goes on in both parties for sure, but the Democrats have lived off of racism,
Sure.
chaos, and then our
And
mayor
I
here,
can get down with that.
Hang on, let her finish the point.
our mayor here
Sorry,
is
I'm sorry.
definitely a socialist, and if you look into Stacey Davis Gates and his partnership with her, she was a Socialism 2025 conference. If you just look at recent quotes from her, she is literally saying she wants crisis. She wants to push for chaos. The former CEO of Chicago Public Schools even stated that her whole plan from where he sits is to push the Chicago Teachers Union, as well as how the CTA is being run, to a point of bankruptcy where the state has to bail them out. These people don't, so you can say it's not evil, or they couldn't be evil because they're that's
Sure.
just not in their nature, or you don't assume that. But when your policies, like Jared was saying, when your policies are to omit help and to leave out what the people are actually asking for, and then you have people that are around you literally saying the quiet part out loud about how they want to create chaos, or how they want to bankrupt a state for their own gain. There's nothing in it for us. I mean, you look at the children, they're not learning.
Sure.
So
yeah.
you're doing stuff like that. Yeah, hell yeah, you're evil.
Well,
and so when we talk about passing gun legislation and things like that, a lot of people don't want to do that because, well, obviously, just like you were saying, you don't trust the government to run. You don't want to lose your Second Amendment right, And so like, I feel like, I'm going to stand on that too. So there's a lot, there's a lot of moving parts around the gun law and things like that. But I feel like there was opportunity if you want to make it like, oh, well, Republicans are the evil ones because they don't want to pass gun legislation. That to me is kind of disingenuous as well.
No. I'm not saying that I think that. I don't think that at all.
The fact that you said you were going to bring up to me that Democrats have never had a chance to pass it on their own.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
It's a bipartisan issue.
Right.
I'm saying that.
Hold on, guys. Before we continue, guys, we got a $5 super chat from Miss Latanya. Thank you all for having great dialogue thus far. Thank you so much, Miss Latanya. I appreciate that $5 super chat. W Miss Latanya in the chat, guys. And make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you're new. I will really appreciate that. But go ahead, Nicole. What was it, Alan speaking?
Yeah, that's all I had to say. I was waiting on Alan to show me where, because he said
no, I got it.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying that you can. Okay, so.
If I
all right, yeah, go for it.
But I got to add on.
No, you're good, brother.
Go ahead, Mr. Good.
Here's the thing. Every time there's here's the thing. Democrats wait for a mass shooting to happen to pass these ridiculous gun laws. Here.
Yeah, well, they don't have to wait very often now, do they?
Every time these legislations are passed, it don't work. Now, if you talk about school shooting, the only thing that about these school shootings, they have these gun-free zones. So the one who's not going to carry them guns in the school are the ones who are obeying the law right there. But if you have one of the criminals, they don't care about no gun-free zone. Matter of fact, they love politicians to pass gun legislation to handcuff people like myself, Nicole, and anybody else who are law-abiding citizens right offhand. So these gun legislation or these gun laws don't work at all. It haven't worked. It never will work.
See that? I guess that's where I agree that they would, and I'm not saying that I'm going to die on this hill. I'm saying it mostly as a counterpoint to whoever said that heavy policing and that more funding of the police will work undoubtedly, and that it's evil for Democrats to block it. I'm saying that look at New Zealand is actually a fantastic example. They had one mass shooting in the past 5 years, and it was national news forever. They still talk about it.
It's a completely different culture, Alan.
No, but listen. All right, England, France, Germany. Let's talk about it.
They're getting stabbed and having acid thrown in their faces.
If you can, but to the extent that Americans are getting shot,
you're okay. Wait. So I'm
getting to a point. I haven't gotten to
mass
my point.
Shootings. Hang on a second, Alan. Mass shootings are 3 people or more, and in any instance, this includes gang violence. This includes drive-by shootings. This includes, somebody is robbing a place and there's multiple people shot. All those are considered mass shootings. When you distill it down to school shootings, that's a completely separate thing. And now you're getting into an issue of the SSRIs and all the stuff that kids are on. We're
not getting to the issue.
We're not going to get into that.
Okay, then grown adults.
Hang on. Let me finish one last thing, and then I'll shut up.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm listening, brother.
It's still a constitutional amendment. This is a constitutional right, and it is the only one that says shall not be infringed, period. And we've still infringed it because those folks in Chicago, it is very hard for them to get a firearm and to protect themselves and to defend their homes. And that's not the only city. It's in a lot of places because when the crime goes up, they say, let's take the guns away. But you know what criminals don't care about? Laws.
Yes, I agree.
Criminals. So you have the innocent, the law-abiding citizens unarmed, and the people who say, pass all the gun laws in the world, I'm still going to get one, and I'm still going to use it to commit crimes because the law to rob someone doesn't matter to me. Neither does the one to shoot them or to say that I'm not supposed to buy a firearm.
Yes, I agree with you. I have a really good point on this I want all of you to hear about. I want all of you to have them give me their opinion on it. So I'm just saying, and this is undeniable. This isn't even opinion, man. This is just us. It's us and then like militarized nations or like type 3 or what do you call them? It's me. That's not like the term they use anymore, but like third world countries. We rival them in shooting per capita. And yes, I'm a very constitutionalist. I guess I have a more, I don't know, the Second Amendment's tricky, so I'm not even going to get into like all of that. But I'm saying that do you find it's a little hypocritical to say that, okay, so Chicago has a lot of crime, we need to get in, we need to go crazy. But you're saying that gun violence is inevitable, unavoidable, and that we can't do anything about it, so why even try?
If you take away the top 5 most dangerous cities in this country, we are one of the safest countries in the world.
Okay, then let's talk specifically school shootings. We're the only country pretty much that does this. Do you think that we can do anything about it, or do you think it's just a fact of life that I'm going to have to grow up in? I'm going to be a teacher.
Dennis told you. Get rid of gun-free zones. An armed society is a polite society.
I almost agree with you there. Do you want fellas open carrying in schools, boys?
Yeah,
I don't think that's the way.
Teachers that volunteer to do it, yeah.
Yeah, maybe with enough training, maybe I will agree with you. I guess I get what you're saying.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about this right here. Is that every school shooting happened every 2 to 3 years. It's starting with Columbine and stuff. So nobody didn't understand what to do or how to do it. So they say, well, let's pass gun control laws. As the years go by, you have more than 60 to 70% school shooting here in the United States. Why? Because you have these anti-second 2As with the politicians saying, well, we need more common sense gun laws. Gun laws is equal to gun control. So when you control the guns, you control us from protecting our kids from a shooter. You protect.
I have a really good question for you guys.
But hold on.
I'm gonna say.
But here's the thing.
Good.
When
it's on that last point,
it's
though.
More like. But see, here's the thing, Alan. The legislature are protecting criminals from law-abiding citizens that arming themselves with guns right offhand. And my thing is this here: if you go through the, you know why Illinois I'm gonna tell you why Illinois. Everybody have a hard time purchasing gun in Illinois because of the FOID card right offhand. Then you follow up with the Protected Illinois Community Act. Now they got SB 8, meaning that you have to have a gun in a safe box. You have to take the magazine out, take the round out of the chamber. Now, how long does
at home
it take
or when you're carrying it outside?
No, you can carry it outside. You can carry it outside if you conceal. But
sure,
at home,
if you have a
at home. But hold on, let me make my point. At home,
I'm listening.
You have to take. You cannot have that gun armed, and you have to have it in a box, in a safe box. Now, here's a worst case scenario. How long does it take for you to get that gun out the box, load it up, and put a round in the chamber, compared to a home invader with the gun already intact that's around this chamber? How long you think it's going to take for you to stop a home invader if you got it in a box?
I actually used to very much agree with you on this, and I still kind of do to an extent.
I'm asking you a question, Alan. I'm asking
I'm 100% with you. Yeah, it'll take much longer if you don't have it at arm's reach. I agree.
Okay, can anybody on this panel answer that question? How long do you think it takes for you to
you actually want?
Safe box?
Okay, so it's you're saying it's a locked box. Rounds are in the magazine already, though, just not one in the chamber?
Correct.
You keeping the key, like, I guess I would keep the key next to the bedside. I'd probably keep it, like, under my bed or in my night. That's a solid 30, 45 seconds. to get it ready? Maybe
And now,
less,
how long
honestly.
you
I don't
think
think it would take that long.
and guess what?
With my
You'll
gun
be
safes,
dead
they're
in
pretty easy to
1.1.
unlock.
But see, here's the thing, Alan. You'll be dead in 1.1 second because he already got a gun and he have a round in the chamber.
Yes, and that happens with like crazy people that just go into people's houses and kill them, which there's less cases for. There's less cases of people of home invaders.
Now you trying to justify criminals are crazy.
No. I'm saying that home invasions and robberies happen all the time, but I'm saying that there are less cases in the United States per year, and I will back this up. Like, you can look this up. I'm saying there's less cases of people walking into houses and shooting the first person than they see than there are school shootings in the U.S. So I don't think that your hypothetical is incredibly applicable to my hypothetical. Though I do agree with you. Yes, I agree. If there was a person that came in and was just started shooting, I want that gun outside. I want that gun outside.
You're saying home invasion homicides are less than school shooting homicides?
No. I'm saying I'm saying that a robber comes into your house, puts a gun in your face, says, "Give me your money." Happens a lot. I'm saying that a home invader coming into your house and shooting you in your sleep doesn't happen very often. We can agree with that. It happens less so than mesh.
No.
Whoa, really?
I mean, we can look it up. So, okay, rephrase it one more time. I'm in Chat GPT.
All right, fair enough.
Okay,
well, that's kind of hard to. It would be kind of hard to get through it. I mean, what would be the best way to phrase that? I'm seriously thinking. Well, I guess it depends. It would just count as a home invasion homicide, no matter what happens.
Right.
I think I personally think that it's irrelevant. I think that either way, a soft target. Look, a military installation got shot up not too long ago. People think these. That's
disgusting.
Well, and it happened when I was still on active duty. We had the one that was down in Fort Hood.
That's disgusting.
Military installations are soft targets because they have incredibly strict gun control. That's a military installation, chock full of soldiers, and you can get onto that base and get shot. It can happen in a school too, because on military bases, we used to have, similar to what Mr. Dennis was talking about, you have to have that gun in with a gun lock on it in a locked case, in an area that is not easily attainable, they say, by kids, if you have kids in the house. But to have a gun lock on it inside of a locked safe, you're done for. And when I was stationed in Hawaii, they used to break into houses on post because nobody's got a gun. If anybody's got one, it's locked up and the ammunition's kept separate.
Yeah. Do you use gun safes, or do you have one like ready to rock by your bed?
Oh,
no, I have one.
No, I'm seriously asking because
I
I just had this debate with my father about this because we got a firearm in every level of the house, easily accessible if some shit goes down. And I was trained with guns my entire life. I know the ins and outs of them. I trust myself, my little brother as well. If you're in ChatGPT right now, can you look up how many accidental firearm deaths there are with children up till 10 years old in the country? Because that's why these safe laws are starting. That's why it all started.
It's irrelevant.
Because of accidental.
No, it's not why they started.
Well, it's irrelevant, but when
I don't think that's irrelevant at all. I'm seriously asking
it's irrelevant, but when Pritzker passed that gun safety lock act and stuff, we got until January 1st of 26 because they talk about they're gonna come in everybody's house and check and see if you got your gun locked up in a box, including with a trigger lock on it. But
trigger locks I'm against. Trigger locks are odd. I do agree. But then once again, I think it's for safety of accidents or people that you don't want getting access to them.
Unless you put your finger on the trigger and put it upside your head.
There's a lot of we ought to be on the same page about this. There's a lot of accidental child deaths playing with their dad's gun they found in a drawer. That's not hypothetical. That happens a lot, guys. We got to admit that.
You can go ahead and
what's the percentage then? What's the percentage?
Yeah,
I just pulled it.
Enough for me to know about it.
262 fatal unintentional firearm injuries from 2003 to 2021. 1,262 versus every other crime.
No, but versus home invasions.
360 million firearms.
But about home invasions that just come in and shoot you and walk out.
I don't know what it matters if they come in and
all right, fuck that point. Whatever, screw it. I'm done. That's fine. I'll concede to that. I don't even feel like arguing
dead,
anymore.
Alan. I'm still dead.
No, I do agree. I'm actually. We could talk about. We can get into. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm actually.
You're trying to justify. This is what's happened and what's got us where we are today with unarmed citizens. Is that you've justified this caveat and that caveat and this caveat to add additional regulations onto firearms, and you get into states where you instill this fear in people, and they say, well, let's just ban guns. Let's be like California or New York, where you got to be a special person to get a concealed carry permit, and then you've got an unarmed populace. That's the slow creep of what you're talking about.
I guess I got another question.
Alan,
I've
been letting you cook this whole. I've been trying to let you cook this whole show, bro.
I'm the only one that disagrees with you guys. You guys are saying the same shit. No offense to you guys.
But to Nicole's point, I'm still dead, bro. Dude, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you get that part, but it's like
I didn't even hear what you said.
I mean, but either way it goes, it's like statistics matter, Alan. In this case, you do know that, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, but like, I mean, that's enough for me. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying that I understand why blue, red, whoever decided that these things were a good idea. I can understand why they're like, yeah, maybe we should lock up our guns. Not that I disagree with it. I'm saying that I understand it. And you guys are saying that it makes no sense whatsoever, that it's evil, and that they actually want criminals to come and kill us. And I disagree with that.
Alan, the chat is like, what are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, and your chat is like... Okay, so going back to my original point, because yeah, that's a tangent that I didn't even want to go down. My original point is that if you're saying that a Democratic person, a Democratic mayor, Democratic governor refusing to up their police force is evil, or at least evil adjacent, then I think that not trying to do anything about guns, regardless of if I agree with it, and I don't a lot of the time, but I appreciate the fact that they're trying to do something. They're starting a dialogue in Congress, compared to us just being like, Second Amendment shall not be infringed, fuck it, whatever, we're fine, we'll live through it. I'd much rather have a dialogue being open than just, and unfortunately it's Republicans that are usually the ones that shut down these talks. And that's fine sometimes. I do agree.
We've
given
it an
unless you watch it.
Well, yeah, no. When a Democrat comes up and says a semi-fully automatic weapon, I go, and I think it's ridiculous. I'm not saying that all of the time that I'm not even saying that most of them know what they're talking about. All I'm saying is that I think that
they're getting paid to do that. They're like Mayor Johnson is getting paid. We already know this is what we're trying to tell you. All these Democratic mayors are getting paid all over the country. D.C., St. Louis, they're getting paid to push this agenda. And you know by who, and you know by what kind of people.
Oh, I do not know what kind of people. What are you talking about? What kind of people?
Because Mayor Johnson, hold on a second, bro. Mayor Johnson from out west, he know black plight more than anybody. Lori Lightfoot was from Cincinnati or somewhere. So, but if you're black, you know what black plight is. Even if you're rich or poor, it doesn't matter. You know what black people need. Now, for him to be doing all this stuff, he's been getting paid to do it. I don't care what nobody says. He's paid to do it. He's paid not to do it. He's paid not to do. Yeah, he's paid not to do. Yeah, somebody pulls. He's paid not to do what he's supposed to be doing. So
okay, what about? Okay, I agree. But okay, I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to say that you're right, and I'm going to say that I agree with you. What I am going to say, I'm going to push back a little bit. I'm going to say, what about you're saying that Democrats have an agenda? They're getting paid by someone to not fix issues. What about AIPAC or the NRA funding Republicans? Is that not the same thing? Is that not the same exact thing? It's an organization paying you to push an agenda for them.
At least the NRA is supporting America.
I know, but I'm saying that it's ridiculous to say. I think it's ridiculous to assume.
Let me push this out. Let me listen to this. The Democrats are for the last 8 years.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Let me click them.
I'm listening, man.
30 seconds, Sean.
Let me say this, and I'll let you cook. I promise, Mitch. I'm gonna let you cook. But I gotta give Alan that point. I have to, guys. After all of the information that I've been seeing when it comes to this Tom Alexandrovich guy who had dual citizenship in Israel, guys, and he just got caught in a I believe it was a sting operation, and it was him along with 7 other individuals who was basically soliciting children. And when the Trump administration questioned this guy, This guy was released back to Israel with no charges. So we have to give Allen that point, guys, when they do. Now, and this is on both sides, though. This isn't just
I know it's on both sides. I just think it's ludicrous.
I know you
I
got
just think
the
it's
A
ludicrous.
and A packing is at a third, but it's also on the right as well. So I will have to give Allen that, guys. I do have to be genuine.
I feel like that's just the life. I think that's just how it is. It's not even an opinion.
But my question is, what the NRA got
It's
to
not
do
an
with
opinion. It's not.
No, I'm not saying that I'm for or against any of this. I'm just saying that the NRA the public. Well, actually, some of them are not publicly records, which is unfortunate, and I hate that, and it sucks. But I'm not even getting into that. I mean, a lot. The NRA presidents, either people within the organization or the organization itself, has paid checks to politicians before. And I'm saying that if you're saying that Democrats being paid by someone to do this is evil and not good, then I think that the NRA lobbying, I think that the NRA or AIPAC or any of these people that I may or may not agree with, I'm not saying that I do or no, I don't. I'm saying that I think that if they're allowed to do that, why can't some climate change activist pay Gavin Newsom to do something? Why can't some gun violence advocate pay a Democrat that is more willing to hear them out?
What gun violence?
That's not.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
That's weird. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh no! What's the what do they call? Damn it! The kids that grew up.
talking about Mom Demand Action?
No, I'm saying like the parking shooting victims that like grew up and started that whole organization that they've been trying to lobby politicians.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I'm saying like something of that nature. I'm saying if they're allowed to fund money into politicians, if they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Everything you've listed.
For you.
Someone's mic is freaking out also, and it's hurting my ears.
Oh, sorry. Alan, I have a question for you.
What's up, brother? I'm here for it.
What about the Uvalde shootings where the police spent 45 minutes to an hour outside the school, and the only thing they did when they got in the school was one cop sanitizing his hands before they even got the shooter, when they could have ended that massacre?
Yeah. I think that they were cowards, and I think they were cowards. I think that they're horrific police officers. I do not think they should have had that badge. I think that they should have been fired. I think they should have been prosecuted criminally. I think that it is a disgusting act, and it is not what America is about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So imagine the good citizens with guns that don't trust the police. Would you support a good citizen going in, shooting the shooter when the cops didn't do their jobs?
Yes, I would support that if I knew that it was a good citizen. And if I saw that, I'd go, hell yeah, one more for the gun boys. Because I always like seeing things like that. I love seeing things like that because it means that I have, well, it doesn't matter. What I will say, though, is that, what? I don't understand your point, really, I suppose, maybe. What are you asking again?
Basically, I'm asking: would you trust the corrupted Uvalde police in the local government that would not answer the people, or would you trust the citizens to do the jobs that the police in the local government refuse to do?
Well, I'll ask you this, and maybe someone actually does have an answer for me, because I don't, and I'm seriously asking this. In open carry states, how many Good Samaritan gun? How would you put that? How many times does a Good Samaritan stop a crime, a gun, or a fatal shooting in open carry states? They stop them more than
500. But so the numbers, because they rarely get reported, it's somewhere between 500,000 and 2 million.
A year?
Yep.
Thank you.
No way. No shot.
That's more.
How many police gun deaths are there even in a year? That's
No. I'm talking about like defensive uses of firearms.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well,
that's what I'm not talking about. And it could be just as simple as somebody pulling it.
Yeah, no, I get you. Okay,
like people with a firearm. So I may have misunderstood the question.
No, once again, I'm for open carry states. I'm actually very for that. I think that I do agree with your point that I think that we need more guns in the hands of the nice people. I don't think that that's like a gotcha against a Democrat, though, saying that, okay, there's too much gun violence, we need to look at it, and maybe, just maybe, doing the things that other countries have been doing forever. And it's not like that. We all come from the same general vibe. We like to, I think that's another issue. I think that Americans like to pretend like we're the only country with these freedoms. when we look.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but there are countries like China that don't even have gun rights, and they basically have no rights.
Yeah,
And
because they live under a military that gets to arrest them whenever a guy thinks that they should be. But crash anyway.
yes, and they go into people's houses,
That cookie
violating the
was
Fourth
okay.
Amendment if it happened here, just for having a Bible study, which would be a violation of the First Amendment if it happened here, right in their homes. And they don't
Thank you,
need search
Nicole.
warrants there. And if you say something religious or against the government in China, the cops can just shoot you dead if they wanted to.
Yeah, that's why I like freedom. I love freedom, and I think getting back to the okay, so looking at that statistic, thank you, Nicole. Less than 1% of crimes all year are handled by a good Samaritan with a gun. How many crimes a year are committed by legal gun owners? I want to see that. I want to see a comparison to that. Not even for my agenda. I'm just curious if you're on ChatGPT or whatever.
Well, I honestly don't have the exact answer
I didn't expect
because
you to.
I'm looking at because I don't focus on other countries as much. I just know some of the major countries that people don't have the same rights as we do because the government controls them.
I can name off of my. Okay, I'm a geography.
But that's
I'm
why
kind
I
of
got
like a
these
crazy
guys.
person with geography. I know way too much about other countries, and I love comparisons, and that's why I think that America rules because I get to compare myself to ourselves to so many different countries. New Zealand, Australia, Belgium. Belgium has this almost the exact same rights as us, minus guns.
No, they don't.
And they're doing pretty good. I'm saying that, like, yeah, to bring up China as an example, yeah, I agree.
Jared,
China
I want to
sucks.
hear what you got to say about
North Korea
that.
sucks. I'm not saying, but you can't. I mean, even go into Africa. Most people can't
Alan.
even name half of the countries in Africa, and they want to tell me that America, for some reason, is some like supreme being when it comes to freedom. You know what I'm saying? I find that to be a little disingenuous.
Look, Alan,
I'm listening, man.
you just gave New Zealand and Australia. Are you familiar with what happened during COVID in New Zealand?
Oh,
the concentration camps of people that were not allowed to leave unless they did what the federal government told them to do. You're not talking about free places. You're not talking about places.
Yeah, no,
with
I'm
a First
actually pretty
Amendment
sure, and I'm going to say this. I think that's
hang on. The Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is the protecting measure for all the other amendments. This is why the whole thing exists, because we talk about self-protection, about our right to self-preservation is what I like to call it. That is our right to self-preservation. And when that goes away, the government is now that's our next level of authority, whether it's the Chicago PD, the National Guard, the U.S. soldiers, U.S. troops, all of that. There is no personal autonomy when it comes to protecting myself. I have to rely on somebody else. And none of these places have a military or a police force that is strong enough to protect their citizenry. So yeah, and I always go back to the example of Mao, Hitler, Stalin. What did they all do? All of them. What did Castro do?
What do you mean?
They disarmed their population, because you can't take over a country and you can't be a dictator if you have an armed populace. And that's what keeps us free. It's also why when the Democrats are in office that they say, oh, we're going to do all this for gun control and gun control. They can do it at the state level. They can add these additional restrictions on people, but ultimately it's never going to go away unless you entirely abolish the Second Amendment, because it is that ironclad. So and rightfully so.
Gridlock that
right?
is.
Even gun crime, Alan. Gun crime, they say 30,000 people a year are killed by gun crime. You realize that about 65%, Nicole, you can fact check that one, but like 60% of them are suicides. They include suicides in gun crime. So when you take it out, hang on. When you take 365 million people and there's 10,000 people a year killed with firearms.
Sure.
Track where that happens. It happens in Democrat cities where they have strict gun control. You take that out, we are the safest, one of the safest countries in the world.
We can't hear you, Vashawn.
Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. I hate to end this great conversation, guys. Yeah, I can hear you, Alan.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, my bad. My microphone just completely did not like me for a moment. No, and sure. I can't even. I'm not even gonna pretend like I can disagree with that last point that you made, because I'm with you. I am. And this isn't even the hill once again that I'm willing to die on. But what I am willing to die on, and I will say this with my chest, and I hope to God that somebody kind of understands what I'm saying without getting mad. I think that Republicans have been a little hypocritical with that as of late, about the whole, well, it only happens so often, so we shouldn't do anything about it. Fair enough.
Well,
See, no, hear me out. I have a thing.
No.
So I'm gonna assume, since you guys are you guys like mostly? I'm assuming most of you, or the majority of you, voted for Donald J. Trump. But are you like, you think you're in the MAGA sort of movement? Or are you mostly just like, general conservatives that are
I'll
voting
tell
red?
you a little bit about me, Alan.
Go quickly, because I have a point.
I'm basically I'm actually the Constitution Party registered, and I went the Constitution Party straight down the line. I know it's not the most popular thing. Although I like Trump on many things, there are some things that I disagree with, and he was my number 2 choice. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I hate him just because I disagree with him on a few things.
I agree.
So,
I don't know.
and there are many, but because he's doing many things that I do like.
Alan, I'm back 100% because I don't, like I said, we don't know if J.D. Vance or Trump. There's really no other Republican I really mess with, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough. Okay. So I got a question for you folks. I got a pretty big question for you folks. And you might think that
This is the last question, Alan. We at the 2-hour mark, so we gotta end it. Alan,
we gotta end it. Oh man, I was having a good time. Okay. Well, this is a fun one. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're saying that only 10,000 people a year out of the 380 million in America are getting killed by guns, and yet we think it's a big old issue, and you don't think that that's a big of an issue. But MAGA, no, hear me out. Give me a second, but you MAGA boys really, really care about abortion rates, when it is much less than gun violence. So apparently that's worth looking at.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But let me tell you something, Alan. Let me get this. When it affects my culture, and when it's been affecting my culture ever since 1970. Hold on.
I got another one for you. Trans people. When's the last time you saw a trans person?
Alan,
you guys want to tell me that I'm indoctrinating them in my schools? Sure.
Alan,
we can play this game all day about it doesn't happen that often.
Stop. When it's been affecting that shit don't affect your culture. Okay?
Abortions?
Y'all be fine. It
affects everybody the same. What are you talking about?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You Irish, Polish, Italian, y'all all consider yourself as white. We're black. We're the black conservative. This is all we got. We don't have Jamaicans. We don't have Africans. We don't have like South Sudanese. It's just us in this country. Okay, but when our culture been at 13 and 12% for 50 to 60 years, and gun violence and abortion is kept it that way. So don't tell me that shit like that, okay? Because it pisses me off.
You're allowed to be pissed off, but I think it's a valid question.
We're 42 million. Then the person that you voted for just let in 20 million people that overthrew our population. So now we fight for this.
We went through that last time. That number is not. It's very highly refutable, and you guys agreed with me last time about that number.
It's 51. Well, have Nicole look on number.
You know how many there were in 2022? How many abortions there were?
I'm curious.
613,000.
Where'd you get that number from? I'm serious.
This comes from Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC.
All right, word. I guess maybe we should start on this. Do you think that abortion is murder?
Oh, gosh.
No, we won't start on this today, bro. We're not going to start on today.
I'm curious.
If anything, we should be ending it on this.
My overall point is that I'm saying that we have such a big country with so many demographics that any single issue that we care about, we can go, well, it doesn't happen that often, so fuck it, it's not even worth my time. You can do that about anything.
That's not what we're saying.
It's not a good argument, guys. It is not a good argument to just sit here and let it pass us by.
Who has said that we don't do anything about it? other than you.
No, but I'm saying if you're saying that we should actually arm more people. Fair enough. I almost agree with you on that. But I'm saying
That is
to immediately disenfranchise other.
Stick on one subject everywhere across the board.
What?
Oh, you on abortion? Guns. Make a.
I'm saying that I can do that about pretty much anything. It's not a good argument, in my opinion, to be like, well, look at how little it happens per capita. Therefore, honestly, it's not that big of an issue. We shouldn't look at it. I can do that about pretty much anything, especially unless I'm not even going to bring it up. I don't even think it's worth it.
Well,
Alan, nothing that goes on in our neighborhood, like most of us here from Chicago, like I know, like I live like 20 minutes from Vashon. I probably don't live that far from the go. All the stuff that we talking about here, none of this bullshit affects you. Okay? And I'm sick of you coming on here.
Unfortunately. I'm trying to tell you that it does. Maybe not to the same extent, but to say that it doesn't affect me at all is insane.
You live in Grand Rapids? Like you live a few hours away? You live in Grand Rapids? Where you live?
I'm Dearborn. Dearborn sounds southwest.
Okay, fine.
I grew up. My entire family is from Mexican Town. I spent a lot of time down there.
Good. Well, this shit don't bother
me. I just ended up white.
This shit don't affect you. This shit don't affect you. I'm glad that we get to hear your side, but this shit don't affect you. Because I'm sick of this shit. I'm really fucking sick of this shit. Like they sit up there murdering people in broad fucking daylight on live on Facebook Live.
Yeah,
I agree
with you, man.
Okay, well, so what the fuck are you talking about, man? Because you pissing me off. You got abortion rights and this and that. We need to look. This shit, none of this shit was relevant 15, 20 years ago.
I'm saying that most of these statistics and these things and all of these random issues, the right versus the left, conservative versus liberal, all of these things can always be boiled down to, well, look at how little it happens. We should focus on something else. That sucks. That's how you guys, that's how Whitey and the presidency did it to you guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Liberals and the Democrats.
That was Ronnie's whole thing. Ronald Reagan's whole thing was that we need to crack down on drugs because blah, 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 blah. It didn't work.
Democrats, ever since Democrats were created, there has been a stain on this country. They fought a fucking war to keep us slaves.
That's not, you know that's not true. You know that's not true. The party switch, there is a 15-minute video on YouTube about the party switch.
The party never switched. All because two people switched from another party doesn't mean the whole damn party switched. That's a lie. So
why did the KKK start voting Republican? Why did David Duke start endorsing Republicans back in the 60s?
Shit about David Duke. I don't care what happened.
No, but I'm asking you. If you're telling me that the Democrats are the ones that want slavery back,
I'm explaining
entirely obfuscating.
I'm listening.
Was not a thing. It's been proven in history.
Listen, the Democrats have been doing nothing but shit. They sit up there and steal the election for Kennedy. They didn't like what Kennedy was doing, so they fucking killed him. And then they just had all this problem. Stop. So then you get Barack Obama. Then you get Barack Obama in there, and then he don't do a damn thing for 8 fucking years. And they sit up there and have a podcast talking about, oh, I think I want to divorce him. Like nobody cares about these people. They don't do shit. They never did shit. They sit up here like the North was all Republican when we was down south until the blacks started moving up north. And guess what? All the North cities are not Democrats. They keep on following us and trying to fucking destroy us. So I don't want to hear your bullshit about does this matter? I don't want to hear statistics. I live the statistics, goddammit. That's what you don't understand.
But that's why it confuses me why you're putting so much faith in Donald J. Trump, a man that also has not lived the statistics.
Well, because you don't have to worry about us putting faith in anybody, because at this point we don't have faith in the Democrats. So why not try something else? If you've been living all these years under Democratic rule and you see they have not given a fuck while literally using your pain for their gain, why would you not try something different?
But do you think that that's only? But you're saying that that's only a Democrat issue. The Republicans have never done that or don't do that.
I'm saying, especially as someone from Chicago.
I get what you're saying. I just think that voting for one of, if not the most radical Republicans we've seen in the last century, when Republicans have mostly done jack shit about inner city shit, even though this guy says he's going to do it. I'm just saying, I think that it's weird that you're putting so much faith into it.
The left has moved so far fucking off the damn cliff that you can't. There's no such thing as moderate anymore. So he has to take. This drastic fucking times. They call for drastic measures.
Yeah, bring them in. And guess what? If we get the National Guard walk down Halsted Street right here, I would cook for them. I'd give them bottles of water. They can walk down the street right now. I got the grill out. I got for a beer. Y'all just get these motherfuckers done.
Guys.
I'm tripping, bro.
The battle. Trust me,
bro. You living out there with that good old life out of Dearborn, Michigan. You talking about Dearborn bad. Dearborn is not bad, bro. Dearborn, hold on, bro. You talking about Dearborn, Michigan. I travel, hold on, son. I travel across every state.
You do that.
Okay, look. We're going to go back to Allen, okay? But yeah, let's just keep the tensions down, guys. It's just all conversation at the end of the day.
I know.
Now, granted, look, and I'll agree.
I'm gonna play Nelly saying
I get tired of hearing myself talk, guys. I love hearing you guys talk as well. This is an awesome panel, by the way. Thank you guys for joining tonight. But Allen,
yes.
So are you familiar? Oh, excuse me. Let me rephrase this. Do you know the difference between sympathy and empathy?
In general?
Yes, in general.
I mean, the basic definition is like empathy is being able to feel what other people are feeling, like putting yourself in other shoes, and sympathy is the ability to feel bad for them.
Okay, yeah. So you're familiar, okay, with that. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah. Dude.
So, do you feel like you can empathize with this panel when it comes to the crisis in Chicago?
100%, without a doubt. I'm not. Yeah. No. Yes. I've been trying to say this. I guess I'm getting a little.
Okay, my point is this. My point is this: like, you have to understand where we're coming from when it comes to this crisis in Chicago, Allen. Donald Trump has every right to be doing what he's doing because people are dying out here, man. And let it be known that not just like they're manipulating the numbers, Allen, when it comes to the crime statistics. Okay, they're okay. Let's say someone gets robbed, right? Instead of a robbery, they will go into the system and put it down as a domestic violence or something like that, you know? And this is what they do. The only thing that it's hard to manipulate is homicide. You can't not manipulate people who are dead, you know? So people who keep saying crime is down, no. And Mr. Dennis taught me this. Shout out to Mr. Dennis. The reports of crime are down, not crime in general. The reporting of crime is down because people know that the police, they're going to show up after they're already dead. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that National Guard and the military, they're going to prevent crime from happening in Chicago. And we already agreed on this earlier that we both agree that less crime is better for our communities. We already agreed on that, Alan. So that's not a
with that. That's not even if that's a debate for anybody you know. Well, okay. My point is that my overall point is if it works, yes, good. I will probably.
But it's working, Alan. That's the point. It's working in DC.
But the working is a very different definition to different people. I don't think that sending people with guns to every city is working. So we're gonna homicides. I'm not disagreeing with the overall. I'm not disagreeing with the way that the outcome. Of course, I want the same outcome.
The only way this gonna be resolved if you get you a suitcase, come to Chicago. We'll take you to Austin neighborhood.
You don't need a damn suitcase. You're only 3 hours away. So drive your ass on there 94.
I have to drive like 15 minutes, and then I get to see it myself. It's not just a Chicago issue.
Take I-96 through Red Rapids, get on 94. You'll be here in 3 hours.
Yeah, I go there actually pretty. Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, bring your ass here. I'll take you to some places. Matter of fact, Lori Lightfoot, she encrypted all the city radios. Okay, now.
Psycho?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I said that's psycho.
Yeah, okay. Now she encrypted all. She encrypted all the CPD radios. That's why crime is down because the news don't hear it. They used to have like scanners. My buddy worked for the city. I got a couple of people work for the city, and I listened to that shit. I listened to people literally run down 79th Street and murder somebody with a fucking cinder block in the alley because he was cheating. They found this old lady cheating on him.
Jesus
So don't sit up here and tell me this shit, bro. Like you sitting up here, you don't live our life.
I'm not. I agree with you, man. I'm just
no. Don't say you agree with me, but stop and listen. You don't live our life. We don't live your life. Okay, we're not trying to say like you living in hot ass Dearborn, Michigan. I've been there before. It's not that bad.
Yeah,
trust me.
I agree. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not trying to say that it is.
I thought you lived somewhere in the hood of Detroit. No, bro. Dearborn, Michigan, you live in Dearborn Heights or somewhere. Dearborn is not there. So you don't live where we live at. And I don't even live in a city. Okay, but you don't know what the fuck we're going through. And I know
But I do know that every single time that a military presence has been put into
If you don't
industrialized
know,
cities, it turns
let
to
me
shit.
tell you
That's all
something.
I'm saying.
Stop. You're talking too much and you're not listening. We know what Democrats has done. We've seen it. I've seen it my whole life. They done not a motherfucking thing, bro.
Yeah.
They
And I
destroyed
respect your ability to have an opinion and to vote red if you feel like it. Vote red every single time. I'm never going to hate you for that.
No. You should, because we're on different teams. Personally, to be honest with you, I think the country should be separated into two if we have two damn stupid different ideologies like this. One side want to kill babies, the other side want to live. One side want to get rid of guns, one want to kill people. The other side just want to live a straight life. One side want to let all the Mexicans in. The other side want to keep our jobs. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So what? So yeah, how about this? I think, to be honest with you, whoever y'all voted for, stop. You're listening now. You're listening. Stop. Everybody that vote Democrat technically should take their ass to San Francisco, Seattle, or somewhere over there with that weird ass shit where you could be a girl, could be a boy, you could be a transsexual, you can do as many drugs, you could all kill each other, and y'all can just hurry up and get the fuck off this fucking planet because y'all destroying normal people. And if you voted for it, you're destroying your own country that you live in. How can you be so fucking stupid? This is what the problem is. And then for you not seeing it to have empathy about it, what's going on, we're telling you, like, they just watched homie Tuck. He was at a car show with us. He get killed randomly in the fucking daytime. At 2:00 in the afternoon. And nobody knows shit. Nobody can't find shit. Nobody knows a thing. And you think you voted for this to be normal?
No, I didn't vote for that to be normal. I voted on other issues.
Okay, well, just how old are you, Alan? Anyway,
I'm 21 years of age.
Oh, so it ain't no point of talking to you. So let me tell you something. Do you have an uncle?
I'm going to be most of the voting population within like 8 years. You might as well talk to me now before we actually have power.
No, so what y'all have power to do? Y'all gonna put all the girls in boys' bathrooms? What that's gonna do? That means China
keep voting, and you guys might lose one day. So yeah, putting the military, making precedent of putting the military in places that have issues, you might not agree with that one day. I don't agree with it right now. You might not agree with it in 4 years. That doesn't scare you even a little bit?
Because you don't agree with it because you live in a cushy life in Dearborn.
Yeah, but if a military,
so what you talking about?
I understand your point. Like, I do very much understand what you're saying. I'm not going to vote for you. I think that's my position.
Let me help you out.
Michigan is open carry. Michigan is open carry, so you don't have nothing to worry about. They don't need the military in Michigan because they got guns. They need. Guess what? They need the military at? Where they not allowed to have fucking guns.
See, that's another disagreement. I think that there's just some baseline disagreements we have that I don't think are worth arguing.
Alan.
Yes, hello. I'm listening, brother.
Check this out. Mitch is saying this here. Our life, where we live in the inner city, is way different from your life living in the suburbs and stuff.
Agreed.
That probably got less crime than the city of Chicago. But here's the thing, Alan. If you come and experience, we could take you to Little Village, the back of the yards, Inglewood, Austin, Auburn Gresham, South Shore. We could take you to these neighborhoods. We won't take you to Ritchieville because your life will be comfortable there. But see, we're so used into an uncomfortable lifestyle here because the Democrat Party, especially the supermajority in the state and in the city and in city council, run all by Democrats. It's like it don't bother us no more. But you cannot warrant it. You cannot justify what we're going through raw offhand.
Okay.
So you have to really understand that. Listen.
You don't need to agree with everything, Alan.
But I do. You guys are coming at me like I disagree.
Because you sound
here's the point.
And you just called me stupid. All right.
No, here's the point. Here's my point to you, Alan. You have to go through a real rough life and witness how rough life is.
Man. You got to go through some sorrow, bro. You got to go through some loss, man. It's a lot of people.
Let me say something. Go ahead, Mr.
Wait. Let me finish my point. Out of respect, let me finish my point. Here's the thing. it's different what you see on TV versus what we live throughout our lives.
I'm sure. Well, I guess my counter to that, because yeah, I agree. I'm not even gonna pretend like I can say that. Jeez Louise. What I
Hold
will
on,
say
hold
though
on.
is that okay,
Hold
so
on,
you
let,
guys are
Hold on, let me
hold on,
say
let me
something. Hold on, stop.
hold up.
uh
I want this order right here. I want Mitch and excuse me, I want Mitch and Nicole, then I want Jared, and I want Mr. Dennis, and then we gotta end it there, guys. But before that, we gotta shout out two new members of the channel. We got Kelly Settles, new member. Thank you for joining the channel. I really appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to me. This doesn't happen without you guys. And we have another new member, Snotface. Thank you so much, guys, for
Wow,
joining
that's an
the channel. I
interesting
really do
name.
appreciate that a lot. Man, this does not happen without you guys. I'm doing the best I can. And I do have a special announcement, guys. I am going to be on Will Kane tomorrow around
Right.
4 p.m. Central Time. If you guys don't know who Will Kane is, he's very, very popular on Fox News. So if you guys want to check that out tomorrow, please feel free. And we're gonna start with Mitch, and then we're gonna go to Jared. And excuse me, we're gonna go to Mitch, and was it Nicole and Jared? Okay, yeah. Yep. So Mitch, Nicole, then Jared, then Mr. Dennis, then we're gonna have to end it there, guys.
I guess that's time to go. First of all, yeah, dude, you're 21 years old. When I was 21, bro, I'm 43 years old. I got double the life experience that you got. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. The way you want life is the way we wanted life 30 years ago.
Okay.
But it just doesn't happen here in Chicago. Actually, it doesn't really happen in this country, and just the Democrats are making it worse, and they don't want it to happen. Now, I know personally the Democrats don't want black people to be ahead. They don't want us talking like this online with each other to see what the problems are. But you need to bring either, if you got some uncles or aunt, or you got a mother, father that you can bring on, they will have a better discussion with us than you will. Because you don't have the life experiences, you don't know exactly what we went through. Bro, when I was 21, the things I've done when I was 21 compared to now, have you ever been arrested before, man? Yeah, no?
No, because I'm not doing.
Okay, good.
No.
All right, okay, good. Guess what? I've been arrested probably over 30 times.
All right.
And that was from racist white police. That's when they was racist in the 80s, 90s, super racist. Now these cops nowadays, they don't do shit. They just let people commit crimes. It went from pulling people over every day to letting people rob, have smash and grabs. In the 90s, you would never see that shit. You would never see nobody run up in stores, take stuff. And they letting it happen. Where? Democrat states. Why? Because they don't want it to be good.
That's fair.
It's not fair. It's unfair.
No, you take is fair.
It's not fair. It's unfair. Y'all living over in Michigan, do y'all have this kind of shit? No, because why? It's a conservative state. Why? And y'all got guns.
Michigan was a conservative state like 2 years, and then you guys claimed us. No offense. It's been a swing state for ever.
Yeah, because y'all let too many weirdos over there, and like people like y'all to have this weird thoughts. And it's the problem is like y'all generation. Listen, Ali, y'all generation. Listen, y'all generation is way too soft. I'm sorry to say, like the new white generation, y'all are way too soft. Y'all are way too girly, way too gay, just way too soft, way too easygoing, way too easygoing.
That's not that, but that's unfair. And I feel like I keep having to reiterate saying that I agree with you.
It's what it is, but it's y'all too soft.
You can't just call me too girly or too gay as an actual like argument, though, dude. Come on, you got to agree with that. That's a little old school for most people in this nation.
We're okay. They call us Zennials instead of because we're Gen X and Millennials together. Sure. So we got like some baby boomer, our parents were baby boomers. So we have that skill, but we still new school with it. Y'all just too new and too weird. Y'all just want everybody like 30 years ago, there was no pride parade. It should be no pride parade. You shouldn't have naked people dancing in the middle of the street with kids to watch. But in Democrat states, they want this degenerates like this. They want it like this, but they trying to destroy the world. You think about this. You voted for a party that wants to destroy where you live at. That's how like me talking to you, looking at you and talking to you, it feels like I'm talking to somebody that wanted to destroy his own life and our lives too.
But that's more of a okay. But that's an opinion though. What is
It's
not
not
all right?
opinion. They literally tried to
It's
do it. They
facts.
literally tried to make you take a shot to kill yourself because they didn't like Donald Trump. Yeah, I fucking said it.
Who said that? No, wait, no one said that to me. That's news to me, dude. You're telling me that's a thing
Well,
that happened? Shit, I
you're
missed out
too
on that
slow
one.
to look. You're just too slow to read between the lines. Yeah, they go.
Oh,
Okay,
don't do
they,
that, man. Come on
you
now.
think yeah, but it's true. Us real conservatives know it. You think they just have a magic boogie virus just happen to look up when Donald Trump look up in January 2020 when Donald Trump had got done with the State of the Union address when Nancy Pelosi tore up his speech. The next week later, they just had some magic China virus. They knew they was lost. They knew they was done. So guess what? So then they killed all these people. Then guess what? That wasn't working. They tried to keep you in the house and vote. That didn't work. So they let people out and riot and burn up all the Democrat towns. And guess what? That couldn't work. Because guess what? Donald Trump still got 70-some million votes. And guess what? They had to magically bring 81 million votes. Just they keep trying to destroy you. And you sit up and go voted for it. That's why I don't stop. And that's why me talking to you when you don't get it, that's why I don't talk to you all.
Okay,
We don't talk
you
to
really
you all.
should talk to us more, dude, because I think you need to hear this
But
perspective a
here's the
little bit
thing,
more.
you don't
There's a
understand.
lot of us out there. It's not like there's only like 5 people like me.
If you can't read between the lines what's been on for the last 5 years, if you can't read between the lines, okay, they shot at Trump. They tried to put him in jail. They tried to somebody mess with
Well,
girls.
he did commit crimes. Can we agree that he committed crimes?
No, stop. I'm getting to a point because we ain't gonna sit up here all night. All right, listen. You seen the level of shit they tried to put this man through to get rid of him. They want it back the old way where they can have an Obama or they can have another Bush. I didn't personally think it would be a president worse than Bush until Biden came along. And you lucky Sweet Yams, or my bad, Kamala didn't get in it.
Not sweet yams.
That's what Montel used to call it. That's what the joke is. Montel Williams used to call her Sweet Yams.
Oh
That's
my
God.
Yeah, he sure did.
So here's the thing. I didn't think it would be a worse president than Bush. But shit, compared to Biden, Bush, shit was sweet under George Bush. We had money. We didn't have shit under Joe Biden. This shit was terrible.
And I thought my life was terrible when Jimmy Carter was president.
Shit, I thought George Bush was the worst. Shit, George Bush was a fucking man. Look, that's what I say, Alan. You're 21. This was what your first time voting or second time voting?
In general, I voted in midterms 22.
We don't care about this shit. This is your first thing you voted. All right, now talking to us. Look at this. Okay, well, let me give you. Okay, since you're 21, I thought you were older than that the last time I talked to you. So my bad. So let me tell you something. The Democrats cheated the last shit every time. Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. If the Democrats didn't have Chicago, Detroit, or New York, they will lose every time. They don't have nothing. They don't run on nothing. They ran off slavery. And guess what? When we ran from slavery, they followed us up north. That's why all the damn Democrat North cities. That's what we're trying to tell you. And then all this other cities became Republican. So they keep following the drum. They're like, all the blacks up here now. Let's go up here and ruin they shit. You have to understand, you don't know what you're talking about yet. Once you realize, okay,
that's fair, yeah.
Okay. Once you realize
you called my generation like gay and girly. I'm allowed to have an opinion on yours.
Once you realize how much of a piece of shit they are, maybe I think you talk to us for maybe a few more times. You'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but there's some things you've genuinely changed my mind on. I'm not some.
But I know Bashan needs the content so you can stay on here. But besides that, you're gonna need a couple more years. You're gonna realize, like, wait a minute, these people are pieces of shit. We know because we live with these pieces of shit for years. So
and if that's true, then good. Like, I'm glad that I had found a new perspective. All I'm saying is that from my current
Mitch. Mitch. Listen, Mitch. We gotta move along to the next person. I think it was Nicole, but Deontay. Before Nicole speak, I know you ain't really speak a lot, man. Do you got an opinion on anything that's been going on in this panel?
Yeah, my thing is when it comes to the police, you know what I'm saying? I believe the police should have more training. And with that, it's funny how it comes to some of Barbara. There's more training than police.
All right, I think your mic going in and out.
Over time, I think the killers need more training than instead of shooting everybody else, just shoot one person.
Yeah. Get more training.
What was that? What was the last thing about shooting one person? I didn't catch it.
I think the killers need more training. If you're gonna sit out there and kill somebody, you gotta have good training.
Who would be the kill the recipient? The kill.
It's hard to.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
we're gonna go to Nicole. We're gonna go to Nicole next. Go ahead,
That's an
Nicole.
interesting comment. I'm kind of curious. What does that mean?
So look, I'm just gonna say this because I have a 21-year-old, and so I empathize a lot with Alan because, like Mitch is trying to say in a more aggressive way, you need more experience, and you've been misled grossly. And it's not on accident. It's not your fault because at the end of the day, they knew like we're in a spiritual war. Is really what it comes down to. We're in a spiritual war, and the higher up the elites, they knew years and years in advance. They look at astrology, they're looking at the stars, they're seeing all this stuff, and this is all stuff that a lot of people will call wacky. But all this metaphysical stuff plays in, and they knew that this generation coming up would be powerful if they were to awaken the way that our generation was able to slowly start seeing things. We went through having no technology, just television, and then going through all that, and then now everything is like in your face, on your phone all the time. You guys had that experience, but it was warped, and it was too much, too soon, too fast, and they got a way to get inside of y'all heads and make y'all think that y'all are supposed to sacrifice y'all own good, your own individualism for the greater good. But it was supposed to be where we were supposed to all kind of be individuals as a community and respect each other all as a community and respect. You stay over there and do like Mitch was saying, hey, y'all go over there with that weird shit. If you want to do that weird shit over there, we gonna go over here and do our shit over here. But they gotten us to a point where your generation is so entranced with community that you will kill yourself and the whole world to stand for a moral that will not stand. Like, so we're killing all the babies, like he was saying earlier. You killing all the babies, you taking all the guns away, you're empowering the criminals. Like, you have to come to terms with there's always going to be good and evil, there's always going to be right and wrong, you're never going to eradicate bad things from the earth. And so in your mind, you think that there's some and you saying, but that's how y'all out here living, and it's not your fault. The schools are literally feeding this shit down y'all throat. They're using stats like Mitch was saying. They're using stats from 50 years ago. They're telling you about the policing being so bad. They got you caught up on Jim Crow, caught up on the Reconstruction, caught up on slavery, and we so far from that right now. We were getting over it until freaking Obama, and then they had to come and bring that back and reignite y'all with this old school mentality so that we would never actually all come together and wake the hell up to what's really been going on. Is that we are supposed to be living. I literally was just joking on my channel earlier. I'm looking at the cats, the dogs, the squirrels, and they're living a fantastic fucking life. And what the hell is wrong with us? Like, seriously, we still out here arguing some paper fucking money. Exactly. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. We should be so far ahead of where we are, and we are being held back on purpose. And your education is a huge part of that. And that's why now, like, we do have to bridge that gap. So the way that we're supposed to, you want respect, Alan, as a youth, you want us to understand where you're coming from. You also need to understand that some things are tried and true. Some things will never change. Some things are written in stone. There are some things that will change and will get better and we can improve upon. But there are some things there's order that comes from God, that comes from law, natural law, that will not change. Man is supposed to lead a home. Women are supposed to be the neck that leads, that directs the head, but the head is supposed supposed to be the head. Feminism got that fucked up. You out here killing your own baby, and that's literally the like the Bible is telling you what the things are that you're supposed to protect. And I'm not even a Christian. Trust me, Alan. I don't really sit here and fall for, you know, all of the indoctrination in the preachers and the churches and all that other stuff. But at the end of the day, there are just immutable laws and unapologetic truths that you have to live by. And so I think that is the disconnect between our generations, and what we're seeing in this spiritual war is that these Democrats and these liberals really want us to ignore natural law and what things that should never have changed, that should never and will never change, but they want to superimpose this false, you can be anything, you can do anything. And that's why he's calling your generation soft, because y'all out here really out here going out here thinking y'all can be and do anything, and then when you get hit in the damn face with reality, now it's like, what the hell just happened? So that's all I got to say about that.
I really appreciated that. That was
Before
fantastic.
Alan respond, before Alan respond, because he always has a response.
Of course, I'm the only one that disagrees with you guys. Of course, I have a response. So you bring me on this thing. You want to make fun of it. It's fine.
Before we let Alan respond, we actually have a sponsor from what's really going on in America. I think he wants to promote a T-shirt. So go ahead and give your sponsor out, brother.
So, Alan, you remember when I said I'm a Midwest? I disagreed with the Black Lives Matter, but then the blue lives and all other colors matter. So I created Human Lives Matter t-shirts, which I sell for only $20 plus shipping, and just to promote humanity, regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, because I just got fed up with another color matter. Mm-hmm. And you can actually get one from WRGOA.com.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, thanks so much, guys. So that's our sponsor for today. So, Alan, you can proceed.
No, I'm saying, well, okay. I actually, yes, thank you, Nicole. That was beautifully said. That was actually really fantastic. Thank you for saying all that. What I do want to say, though, is that I will, and unfortunately, this sounds kind of mean, I will outlive you guys. Like, I will outlive most of the people that agree with you right now. And we have to look at that. And I think that it's a dangerous precedent to set that you can just throw certain things from the executive branch at local problems. That's all I'm saying.
But you do agree with Mitch's point, though, right? That when you do get older, you're going to experience more life experience.
Yeah, probably. And if you're right, then you're right. And hell yeah, I want to be. Yeah, if you're right, then cool. I mean, I'm not going to sit here my entire life and be like, meh, Trump. That's insane. That's improbable, and it makes no sense. What I am saying is that currently, I mean, 2028 is not a shoo-in for you guys. There's going to be a big fight. It's probably going to be one of the biggest fights we've seen ever during that election. And I'm saying that you have a good chance of losing. You have to admit that. So I think that calling my entire generation soft, first of all, you're not going to get most of us to actually support you when that time comes. 16, 17-year-olds, 14, 15-year-olds are on Instagram hearing you guys talk. Charlie Kirk's and Ben Shapiro's calling, oh, your generation just doesn't get it. They just don't understand. They don't know enough. They don't get, so they shouldn't have an opinion. Do you think that those kids that are going to be able to vote in 2028 and beyond are going to be on your side when they get the chance? You guys should be reaching out to them and trying to make it make sense instead of just insulting them. That's
okay. So, Alan, I want to respond to what you said when you said you outlive us, right? So, do you think
in a general sense, my generation?
Okay,
yeah.
so wait. You said just because you're young, right? So, are you basing this based off of old age, like you would outlive us based off of old age?
I'm saying that. No, I'm saying that like generations come and go. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be mean to you guys.
Okay, but here's the thing, though, Alan. Here's the thing, though. Our generation, our young generations in Chicago, is actually getting killed. So their ways of living actually isn't working. You know, your generation, like the 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, the 20-year-olds, when it comes to the Black community, that stuff doesn't work. So when you say you're going to live longer than us, I mean, you got to elaborate on that.
I didn't.
Is it like?
I mean, the Generation Z in a general sense.
Because ways of living matter. I don't think that. Okay, let's just be honest.
What I was trying to say, I'm going to say this before you go further because I understand your point. My bad on that. What I was trying to say is that the people that you're right now insulting because they disagree with you are probably going to be voting for this country for a while. We're going to keep going. It's not like we're going to stop when we lose. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a better case to be made to try to understand the young mind while I try to understand your guys' mind. I love you guys talking. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I'm listening. Trust me, I like to talk a lot, but I am listening.
And I
I'm saying
appreciate
that for you to
Common
just
sense.
for you to not want to listen to me is gonna make the me's of the world not love you guys.
And I can respect that. But you do agree that ways of living matter. Like, to my point that I was going to get to earlier, I'm not going to sit up here and say a 21-year-old gangbanger is going to live longer than Jared, who's how old are you, Jared?
I'm 45.
45. Okay, so Jared's 45, right, Alan? Do you think Jared is going to live longer than a gangbanger in Chicago who's basically given his life to the streets?
I don't know. I can't speak on that. What I can speak on is that that's not
So
the
if you
entire generation.
okay, so let's say you have the choice, right? Would you
Okay.
would you put your money on Jared's life or the gangbanger's life in Chicago, who basically lives a very, very tough life?
I'd put my money on Jared, but in the aggregate, in the average life expectancy of young Americans, then no, I'm putting them over Jared.
You're including
So
you're
you do
including
know
all
that's
Americans.
possible.
That's not my
That's
point.
possible, but that's not probable. You do realize
I'm saying
that, right?
that
I
one
believe
day,
in
I'm saying that
probability, not
one day
possibility.
you guys are going to be considered the old school, old fashioned, and you're going to have to fight for these things. And right now, you're telling me that my opinion doesn't matter, and that's weird.
I never.
I feel like you should be trying not to do that.
I never said your opinion.
We never said that.
I never
No.
said
Someone
that. That never came out of my mouth.
Nobody
I
never said
actually
that.
just
You
gave
said you didn't want to that I'm stupid and that I'm young and that you didn't feel that I was
What?
worth the time.
Whoa!
I think
First of
he's
all,
listening. Mitch kind of did get a little heated.
Yeah,
in there
I
and
was
said
just gonna
something
say,
like
yeah,
that. But
Mitch was kinda
we've
going
generally
crazy.
been very
Yeah,
receptive
you guys have been
to
nice.
you.
Okay, but I was just making sure that wasn't like a popular sentiment because I think that
No, I never
But
said
see,
you
that's
was
part of y'all generation problem too. Y'all
There
take
you
one
go.
experience
See?
and
There you-
y'all
I was
take
just
it
about
too
to say
far.
that.
It's
Yeah,
everything
yep.
goes to the extreme. Y'all got to stop being so sensitive.
No, and I
Yeah.
agree with you to an extent, but right now I'm on a panel with 7 people that disagree and think that I'm adamantly evil
totally.
because I support
But
that.
look,
That takes
we're
balls, though.
conservative,
You
and
gotta
this is
give 'em
how we
that. That
live.
takes balls.
We're conservative, and this is how we live outside when we're at our jobs and in most
Word, yeah,
spaces
good.
because we're literally out here fighting for our lives.
In some
No,
cases,
I
in
feel
fear.
But I'm
Right,
saying once
exactly.
again, it doesn't even matter what I agree with you. It doesn't matter if I agree, disagree. It doesn't matter if I hate you. It matters that if you guys are unwilling to do the work to try to get this new generation on your side, or at the very least hearing you out. Because most people that I know are very pro-choice. Most people I know are anti-gun. I don't even agree with a lot of the
But
things
we're
that they say, but
pro-choice.
that's how it is.
Hold on, Alan. We're pro-choice to a certain extent. We're not just giving women the privilege to kill their fetus. And a lot of people. Okay, matter of fact, what is a fetus to you, Alan?
What?
What is a
What do
fetus?
you
to
mean,
you?
what's a fetus? Do you really want this? All right, you guys are gonna get fucking fired
It's
up
like
on this one.
abortion
I'm
rights
telling you
is
that
so
much.
important. Wait, time out. Look, abortion rights is so important to Democrats, right? And you guys use words that you really don't understand. Hold on, Snotface. Do not give it away, Snotface. We're smart, okay? Listen. So, Alan, what is the correct term for fetus? It's the correct term in Latin. It
All I
originates
know
in
is that
Latin.
I'm not. I don't know, and honestly, it doesn't really bother me to know the definition. All I know is that I don't like government overreach, and I think
So
it's odd that
listen,
they're.
wait. Hold
How's
on,
that
let me
government overreach?
just teach you
I'm not
something.
even gonna
Since he said
pretend
he
like I
don't
know too much about
we're
it.
not gonna bash him on that, guys. Okay, we're not gonna bash him. If he don't know, we'll teach him. So fetus is a original term. Well, really, it's called fetus, and it originates from Latin, and it means offspring. And your offspring ultimately means your baby. You feel what I'm saying? So when they
So it's
use
a
the word
semantic issue.
fetus, it means baby. Like there is no way around this. Like you're killing your child.
But
They
that's
say
a semantic issue. You have to admit, Mr. Chicago conservative. You're saying that we should base current day things off of Latin definitions?
No. I'm
We
saying
can
you
get
have
wild
to
with
know
that
the
one.
words you're using. I never said that. I said you have to know the words that you're using. So when people say it's not a baby yet, it's a fetus, I'm like, okay, that's basically saying it's not a baby, it's a baby. Like what the fuck?
No, because fetus does not nearly mean the same thing that it did.
But then again,
you just said he shouldn't argue semantics, and you just did it. Like literally,
No, but
a
I'm saying
baby is a baby is a baby.
Right.
So you guys think so you think from conception that is a living being?
Yes, God put it in
Yes.
you.
I think we're gonna
Alan!
disagree on that one. I don't even think it's worth an argument for.
Yes, dude. Now
I don't think
listen,
it's worth an argument.
there are exceptions. No. I will give Alan this. There are exceptions when it comes to incest, rape, and the threat of the life of the mother. But Alan, can you tell me the percentage of that in America?
I
Not the
cannot. Because
It's
but I
less than
can tell you
3%.
that it's generally upsetting to someone that doesn't know too much about it to hear those stories about girls that have to go travel across state lines just to get an abortion to save
But
their life. That doesn't make me feel too good about it.
I just said it's less than 3%. So what do you think the other 97% of them getting abortions for is?
Well, wasn't your argument earlier about the child gun deaths that it doesn't happen that often? So it's not a good
My
point?
argument is if you're gonna use words, you have to know the definition and the meaning of them. I don't know how many times I said that. Am I tripping, chat?
Look up what a fetus is in a medical journal right now.
My thing
Not
is
the lab
this.
term. Can somebody do that? I can't do
Alan,
that.
you
My phone
keep
doesn't
moving
work.
the goalposts.
No.
do
I'm
that.
not.
We can argue this
Listen.
all night.
I'm
I'm having
not
fun
trying
now,
to,
boy.
Alan. It's not a trick question, bro. I swear to Christ, I'm not trying to get you in a gotcha
I
or anything
believe
like
you.
that. But the Democrats' main talking point is abortion. You have to admit to that.
Yeah, I agree.
That was election. That was the thing about all last year. That was about last year.
I'm not even arguing.
Kamala Harris
They're
election.
giving out free
thing that I don't
vasectomies. Free
understand.
vasectomies. Get your hot dog. You want a vasectomy with your hot dog? You know what I'm saying? Like they're giving this stuff out like it's popcorn.
I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily. I think that we have way too many babies. We have way too many.
We're below replacement rate. Are you kidding me?
It's a population crisis. What are you talking about?
Well, if we're really going to talk about that, I'm saying we have way too many dumb people getting pregnant and then they don't want to take care of the baby. So I think, if anyone's going to talk about birth control measures, I'm going to be like, that makes sense.
I'm sure one of your talking points would be, oh, what if the child has a hard life? You're looking at someone who had a hard life as a child in my teens, all the way until I was like 17 and 18.
I'm sorry to hear
that. You do know there is a huge population problem in America, right?
No. You caught one thing that I said. You caught one thing. I'm not arguing that. I agree with you. I'm saying that I think that preaching birth control, including vasectomies. Okay, I think that I will say flat out. I think that it is much better for society as a whole to be like, yeah, birth control is good, and you guys should really learn about it and do your research, and it should be taught in schools. I'd much rather have that than have
Alan, but why?
Than have the past tense of shit, abortions are horrible.
Oh my God, Alan, no.
You don't think birth control should be taught in schools? You think it's just abstinence?
No, Alan, please
No.
stop, Alan. Wait, no, Alan, please, you gotta listen to me, bro. We gotta get back to the numbers. We gotta get back to the numbers. We just said, and I just gave you the exception. Like I just told you, there are exceptions for abortions. I'm pro-choice.
I appreciate that. It's nice to hear that.
I'm not leaning far right.
There's a lot of you guys that do not agree with that, though. You have to agree with that. There's a lot of Republicans that would fundamentally disagree with
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I personally am.
Agree with that.
I'm
but
personally
the thing is,
very pro-life.
I'm not most Republicans.
So once again, I am going to vote Democrat on the issue.
But listen, though, I gave you the exception. Rape, incest, life of the mother. I just gave you the numbers. It's less than 3%, Alan. So when you think of the other 97+%, why are they getting abortions? Because they don't want the kid. They just don't want the baby. Either they financially can't take care of the baby, which I understand, but I don't think that's reasons for you to kill the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Alan, there are over 12 forms of birth control for women. And my thing is this. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, Alan. Can we both agree on that?
Well, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I guess. I don't know what
you mean. So you just gonna say,
you better agree or you better agree or it's gonna sound real Bill Cosby.
Hold on, Alan, man.
I think I get what you're saying. I don't get what you're saying. Are you saying that I should ask consent of women? Yes, I agree with that. What? Is that a serious question?
But the thing is this, Alan. So so women are control of who they have intercourse with. They have 12 forms of birth control. So why is this happening? Because
I will tell you why. I seriously have an answer for you.
I'm pretty sure you are. Go ahead.
That seems, now that's disingenuous. The Chicago conservative. That hurts my. I'm just joking. Someone in your chat's actually going to take that seriously.
Alan, I've been letting you talk more than anybody, bro.
No,
What
I'm
are you
joking.
talking
I'm
about?
joking, brother. I'm joking.
I told you you're
But
my
what I'm
best
saying-
friend.
I know we're best friends. I know we're best buddies. But what I do want to say is that that's why I once again. So when we're talking, I am not full blue. You guys are not full red. We've talked about this. There's some gray areas. But I'm saying that right now, when it comes down to it, Republicans currently, specifically MAGA Republicans, are for abstinence-only sex ed, which I fundamentally disagree with, because I think it's been happening in Michigan, dude. A lot of these local lawmakers are trying to introduce abstinence only, not talking about birth control. That's a you guys thing. That's a Republican thing. You guys are the ones perpetuating that. I haven't seen a single Democrat be like, yeah, that's a good thing. We're all very against that. So when it comes down to it, I think that teaching birth control is much more important than you guys villainizing women for getting abortions. Period. That's my point. That's all I got.
This is where we've gone to the extremes.
That's just how it's happening, dude.
Let me say something.
That's actually happening.
Hold on. We gotta let Mr. Dennis speak because he ain't spoken a minute. But before we let him do that, we got a super chat here by Snotface, and he said this is the best comedy show I've seen in a while. Thank you guys so much, man. I'm glad you guys are loving the content, man. Appreciate that a lot.
Thank you, Snotface. I appreciate it. Should I go and do stand up?
I don't know, man. You might have a shot.
Respond in the chat about that. Anyway, what, Dennis? You got something?
Yeah, Snotface is a girl. Get it right.
Oh my! Snotface, why are you? Oh.
Hey, look! You see how liberals, they don't even go by what they stand on. Why are you assuming her gender?
Because the profile picture. Because of the profile picture. What do you mean? The profile. Look at the profile.
It's okay, Alan. It's okay.
Yeah, drop dead Fred.
That's a liberal thing.
I'm sorry. That just means she's a guy, right? Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure that if I said whoever they are, you'd lose your fucking mind.
How very misogynistic you, Alan.
If I started bringing up non-binary pronouns, you guys would not have a good time with that either. Let's be honest.
I'm joking.
I know. We're having fun. Glad to have some fun. Anyway, dude, that's all I'm saying. I just think that Republicans are more reactionary at this point, and I don't like it. I don't love the fact that they're like, crime is too bad. We're going to go throw the military. Abortions are too up. We're going to ban it entirely. Like, things of that nature, just, it makes me feel, A, that you guys are in a serious, going to have a serious race in 2028. And I think you guys are going to lose it. The midterms are going to be fun. And I'm really interested to see. But
it will be.
I think that, I don't know. Those are my points. I mean, I've been saying them maybe a little too much. I'll agree. But when it comes to the abortion and birth control stuff, yeah, I think that teaching kids how to have safe sex, especially, and let's be honest, I don't care if you think it's a sin. I don't care if you think it's disgusting. I don't care if you think that it should be illegal and they should be killed. Gay people exist, and they don't get taught shit about sex education, and that sucks. That's how people die of HIV and AIDS. That's the type of shit. If you know what I'm saying? You got to teach this shit. You can't just say that we don't want to talk about it. So anyway, abortions are bad. Like, that's insane.
No, I'm laughing at Mr. Dennis. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Mr. Dennis.
No, that's fine. I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, I think that educating the young people instead of just writing them off is better than just saying you'll get it when you're older. Good luck. Can we agree on that at least? Because that's what the general sentiment has been. You'll understand when you're older. So right now, do research and, it'll work out for you. I don't think it'll work out for me. I think I have to fight for these things. Whether or not we agree with them, at least I'm doing something. You want to talk about how lazy our generation is? I'm talking to you guys. I'm actually having this conversation. No matter how much you disagree with, no matter how many fucking people calling me gay in your chat, it doesn't matter. I'm having fun. I'm talking with you guys. I appreciate your perspective. Come on now.
I think I'm not the average. We've gone to the polar opposites.
Y'all see how y'all go soft on him and he starts talking that, and when I was on, he didn't say that. But go ahead. This is how the new generation is.
I was letting you talk, bro. You were speaking your truth. Actually, I was letting you talk it out, man.
Okay.
You may talk it out, but you don't. You're 21. You don't understand. Because I was 21 at a time, and I didn't understand a lot.
Hey, okay, now I'm the only adult here, so can I talk?
I'm the only adult.
Alan, here's the thing about abortion. Abortion is a form of it's really legalized murder and stuff. It's been going on through the dark ages and stuff. And the reason why that liberals want more abortion because they want to depopulate the country, raw offhand. Now, if you
Why do
want
Democrats want to? Why do they want to do that?
because they the only one who advocating it.
But no, but like, why? What would they get to gain from having a population crisis?
I mean,
Because they live in the same America as you.
there's
They
a
live
lot of
in the
different
same-
reasons. Climate control, climate change. They've. Go ahead.
But no, you asked the question. That's a fair question. They love power. They get drunk off of power. That's what the
Wouldn't you
Democrats
rather have
want.
more
Now,
people
here's
that
the
they're
thing.
willing to indoctrinate than less people
So
that
what
are
now?
seeing? Wouldn't you? Well, if they're trying to just siphon power for the rest of our lives, wouldn't they rather have more people for them to indoctrinate?
They're
than
already
less
planning,
people that are
Alan. This
informed?
goes deeper than that. They're already planning for a whole class of useless people. This is exactly what they call them. World Economic Forum. Everybody's talked about it. There's going to be a whole class of useless people. They're talking about climate change and how we need to reduce the number of people on the planet by X number of billion. The Jane Goodall is even on board with this, saying if she could quietly press a button and remove 6 billion people from this planet, she would do it because we've got too many folks here. And this class of useless people is what's going to be automated in the future. Population decline is necessary for what these nefarious people are trying to do.
I do agree, but
Hold on,
okay,
guys.
but
Hold
you guys,
on.
but do you think conservatives are?
Hold on,
like
Alan.
the
We got
saviors?
another $10 super chat, and we got it from Lord Slug. Man, I appreciate that. Lord Slug, the mastermind. He said, I am sorry, guys. My generation Gen Z is stir-fry cooked. Is he talking about you, Alan? You're cooked, nigga.
Hey, but here's the thing, right offhand, Alan. The only way
Thanks for the
you
$10,
can stop
bro.
you don't have to go through abortion. See, here's the thing. People
Mm-hmm.
always talk about abortion, but they don't talk about responsibility while having sex. They're not going to bring up the word responsibility. So, in order
No, they do a lot.
Hold on, let me
No,
finish
they
my
don't,
point.
Alan.
No,
My
no, let me
body,
finish
my
my point.
choice.
Are
you crazy?
Let me make my point here. If you have
bro.
more sound thinking parents talk to their kids about responsibility, about sex, I guarantee you the teenage population will go down drastically. There will be no single parenting in the country, right offhand, because there are a lack of responsibility when it comes down to sex, right offhand. Now, here's the thing, Alan. The reason why your generation don't know because they don't want to learn. And when they don't want to learn, they don't want to hear nothing. They figure that life is whatever the answer is in life, raw offhand, guess what? Life always changed the question. You will never know the question. You think that answer is the question. That answer is right there for that question, but it always changes and stuff. And that's why you got more these so-called Gen Z. The reason why I say this is because I'm a boomer, raw offhand. And my life, you're right. You might outlive me. I hope.
I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm sorry. I did frame that really
I'm
disrespectfully.
not taking it in a disrespectful way.
I don't think he was
I take it
disrespecting
as
you.
a
Okay,
joke.
okay.
But here's the thing: the statistic of people who's under the age of 30 is dead by 60%. So I must be doing a good job outliving some of your.
That's what I was just saying.
Yes, sir.
That was my point
I'm happy
earlier.
for you boys. I love it. I love
You guys
this
are gonna
too.
outlive gangbangers for sure. Like what? This
doing-
isn't a debate.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And see, here's the thing, Alan.
I didn't say it was.
If you want to learn,
you kind of did earlier.
You got to listen. You got to listen. You
Yeah.
cannot sit up here and you.
That's why
because
I
you
follow
demand-
pages like the Chicago Conservative.
But see,
Like
Alan-
I watch these things that you guys have to say. I listen to your guys' opinions. I just disagree with them.
But
It's not that I'm
see,
closing my
but
ears
see,
and going la la
it's
la
not
la
about
whenever
what
you
you
say something.
agree. It's not because see, here's the thing: you contradicted yourself earlier. You say you want to learn, but you also debating at the same time. You can't learn and debate at the same time.
Well, I'm the only one here that disagrees with any of you. I'm not just going to sit here and let you lecture me for 3 hours. No offense. I can go on YouTube and do
But you
that
have
without.
to, Alan. You have to flush out. You're flushing out your ideas, which is a good thing. But there's an old saying. I think it was Reagan that said it. That it's not that Democrats are dumb, but it's just they know so much that isn't true or something to that effect. He said it in a pithy way. But you've approached a lot of.
For you.
Yeah, right.
Hold
Well, you
on.
have approached a lot of stats with a lot of certainty, and when you go to look them up, it's just not the case. And I feel like that's part of your generation is in this this algorithm capture, where this algorithm is feeding you data and it's feeding you short form content. You know, the TikTok brain sort of thing. And I'm not saying you have that because you're coming here onto a 3-hour show where you're debating issues. That's good in getting out of the TikTok brain mentality. But your generation does, and people that are curious like you are the ones that are going to have these conversations with other people, a lot of whom are going to hate you for it, and that's probably going to turn you closer to our side than towards the direction you've been going now, which is to the left, because
maybe
they're not accepting of multiple points of view. And on this side, generally speaking, we are. There's a lot of things where we're divided as well.
Well,
But
see, that's
we don't
where-
want to cancel you. We don't necessarily have a cancel culture on our side of the aisle. We've got.
I think you guys do. I'm sorry. I think that you guys.
It's not. We don't control enough to. We don't control enough of the media, of social media. We don't control the algorithm.
Would you consider like taking away?
Hold on, Squid got something he want to say, guys. Let Squid cook. Go ahead.
Let Squid cook.
Okay, there is really no cancel culture over here. Basically, we can criticize each other. We can criticize Trump for all we care, and yet we're not at each other's throats. But if you so much as say something on the left, they will burn you at the stake for even the smallest disagreement.
Well, how often do you hang out in leftist groups for you to know that? Were you told that, or did you get burnt at the stake as a
Let's
liberal?
Squid answer, y'all. Let's Squid answer. Let's Squid answer. Go ahead.
Serious question, dude.
I've seen it a lot, and I've had it happen to me a lot. Like,
I don't know the last time that I got called a faggot and gay and dumb and
Hey, wait! Don't drop the F word. I
Okay, my
can't.
bad.
I can't beat that out.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that the last time that happened came from a conservative, dude. Like it came from an old head conservative. It wasn't a young guy telling me.
Like they called me a white supremacist. I'm not completely white. I'm not a completely white person.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous as well. I don't think you're a white supremacist. I think you're a normal guy. I'm just saying. I don't know. Okay. Can I bring up a thing? Because I agree with you to an extent. What about Mamdani?
fellas,
What about
I'm
all
getting ready
of
to
these
get off.
Republicans?
I'll talk to you all later.
All right,
man.
Hey, Mr. Dennis, thanks for joining the live stream, man.
Have a good one.
We don't put Belsky back in there.
All right, I want to ask a question though. I want to bring up a point for you guys. I know I've been doing it all night, but I think it's nice. I think it's good for you guys to hear my perspective as well.
Sure.
Because obviously you don't really get in these groups because you're telling me that all liberals are at each other's throats always. They're not. We're actually incredibly organized.
Alan, we used to
protests that happened.
Hold on. I want Squid to respond to that. Go ahead, Squid, because I really like when Squid respond to Alan.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
interested too.
Okay, you're incredibly organized until one person has a different opinion. And as soon as that happens, it's like I said, Bill Maher, he started to see the things a bit differently, and the left wanted to cancel him for it.
Bill Maher
Which
just
I
started
don't think is
talking
right at all.
about like wokeness, and the left doesn't really understand what that means. So when he went on a whole tirade about how like wokeness is killing America, most people on the left were like, "Yeah, all right, whatever. We don't need to listen to him." I don't think people try to cancel Bill Maher. He's one of the richest people in television. What were we gonna do? He still has a show. He has a very successful podcast. I'm sorry, Squid.
Truthfully, Alan, I think you're misinformed. Like you need to like do some more of your own research. Like I'm not too far from being your age. I'm like 4 years older than you.
Sure.
And you guys are the same race. You guys are white. I'm gonna assume you're white, right, Alan? So it ain't got nothing to do with like
tasty. I am a
black or
honky.
nothing like that, right? Okay, cool.
Alan, let me tell you this real quick. Alan, let me tell you this, and I got to go.
Yes.
So you're in college, right? I'm assuming, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to stop. One, to be honest with you, if you want to live any type of decent life, you're gonna have to stop. You're gonna have to stop taking whatever classes you're doing or whatever who you listen to, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous the way you think. I was 21 years old. I know 21-year-old conservatives and Republicans right now that like do not think on the level you are. Now let me
Did they go to college?
Yes, trust me, they did.
And
now
they just disagree with it?
No, check this out. I think let me give you some people to listen to. You ever heard of Jordan Maxwell?
No, actually.
Okay, write that down.
I'll look
Jordan
him up. I'll look him
Maxwell. Yeah, wait. Okay, keep going. Jordan Maxwell. How about Alan Watts?
No.
Jesus. They don't teach y'all anything.
Okay, can you name like one liberal, like young
Nobody
guy
else
on
care about it.
YouTube?
Nobody. I'm getting to a point. Look these
All
up.
right.
If we will understand it, Jordan Maxwell, Alan Watts. How about even you ever listen to David Icke? Even that crazy.
I've heard the name. No, I can't say I do on a consistent level.
Once you start listening to and seeing how the world really works, then you will understand we're living in the world that doesn't work, and we're seeing it. Okay. Now I've been listening to Jordan Maxwell for years. Now Jordan Maxwell's dead now. Okay. That Jordan Maxwell actually was the one person that actually showed you or told you how the world really works. It's plenty of YouTube videos. You can go check it out. Start listening to things like that, man.
I will
I
actually. Like I seriously will. If you guys are doing another panel soon, I'll hopefully I'll have enough time.
Yeah,
to
we're gonna
listen
do
to
another
you
one
guys.
Sunday. We're gonna do another one next Sunday if you
I
want to join.
might
that.
be there. Honestly, I'll try to be there.
Yeah, man. You know we love you, man. So
I
try
know
to
you
make
do,
it
and
if
I know
you
your
can,
chat likes
bro.
to just
Because
make
we
fun of me.
definitely
I'm happy
love.
they're having fun with us. They're with me.
We need to do
I
a
guess-
one-on-one debate. If I'm being honest, we need to do a one-on-one, just me and you.
That'd
But
be fun. I'd be down, dude. I'd have a great time.
yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be real nice. But
Also, I
guys,
want to say that I'm not trying to like win a debate. I just enjoy talking and like arguing and
nah,
getting our
facts,
thoughts out there.
facts.
I'm just saying, I'm not
I
trying to like gotcha. I'm not gonna go back to my friends and be like, oh,
I enjoy talking. I enjoy sharing my knowledge, but I don't enjoy sharing my knowledge. I got double the years of knowledge than you do, almost triple the years. You will. Let me tell you something, Alan. You will never. Let me tell you something. You will never know half of the things I know in your life. I promise you that. I didn't been to jail. I didn't saved. I tried church. That don't work. I can tell you things about God. I can tell you things about religion. I can tell you things about business. You will never know. Okay. Your generation will never know. The only thing y'all know is on this phone, on that TV. Y'all don't read. Y'all don't know anything. Y'all are so exact in the moment. You're so with things. That's why you latch on. You latch on. You think there's too many people in the world. Do you know everybody on the planet can fit in Texas?
Yeah, it's really
yeah. I don't know
Do
about
you
the
know
planet,
that?
but I think in America.
Yes, no, Deshaun. 6 billion people can fit in Texas alone.
Is
And
it
everybody will
like
have
shoulder
a
to
house.
shoulder, like standing on each other?
No. Yes, bro. That's how big Texas is. You ever been to Texas, Alan?
No, I have not been to Texas.
Alan, you can drive 10 hours on I-10 and not see shit for hours.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world can have a house in Texas. So don't tell me like it's too many people on the damn planet.
I didn't say that. You said that. No, I didn't say
No,
that at all.
you just say
I'm
you think
not for.
abortion.
You think I'm for depopulation? Do you think?
Well,
No,
you
dude,
for
that's insane.
abortion,
That's
right?
crazy.
Are you for abortion?
That doesn't count as mass execution of people for climate
600,000
change.
I just
That's
fact
a
checked
conspiracy.
this
every year.
Yes.
If you can find me a
Yes.
Democrat that said climate change
this
is bad,
is
so I will kill
un-
babies, then yeah, I'm with you. That's insane.
Yes.
If you can find anyone that
fact
said
checked
that
this.
without you having to read between the lines, then yeah.
Yes.
I can read between the lines too when
Deshaun,
I see
go.
racist people supporting
Alan, let
you.
Deshaun speak.
All right, dude.
Hold on. I gotta share this, guys, because this is absolutely insane. Because Mitch is not wrong when it comes to this, man. So basically, everybody can fit in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the entire world here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, that's why, Alan, when you talk to me, you think I might be angry and shit like that? No. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay?
Yeah, man. I'm fine. Yeah, no, get fired up,
Y'all
dude. I have no issue with this. I'm not,
No. Listen, bro. You have to listen. We're your teachers. Whatever they teach you in that college where you're going to is
Let's call college what it is. Higher indoctrination or the indoctrination camp.
Well, that's okay. What about
Hold
all
on,
of the
read that.
conservatives that are college educated? What are you talking about? If it worked so well, then they wouldn't have. Then they would have gotten them too.
To fit the entire world population to the state, though, this would require an unsustainable single mega city. Yeah, it'd be a lot of people in one spot. But yes, everybody can't fit in Texas, bro. I literally drove across Texas. Dude, you literally see nothing. You could drive 120 miles an hour for hours.
Yeah.
Literally 3 or 4
Can
hours.
I ask a quick question? Texas is a conservative state, pretty much all
Sure.
the time, right? You guys were telling me that I should go move to Seattle or Oregon or wherever when I disagree with you guys. Why don't you guys move to Texas if there's so much
Trust
space?
me, I want to, but I rather prefer Tennessee because I like their tax haven.
Sure, word.
Yeah,
but like I
that's
can't
right.
do that either. I don't have
It's
the money to just
fantastic.
get up and move. You're telling me that
Actually, to be
it's our
honest with
fault for
you,
not doing that. I
I'm
find it
jealous,
irrational.
Jared.
To be honest with you, Alan, to be honest with you, Alan, I'm sure thinking about moving, but I didn't settle so hard of it, like my business and everything. It would be so hard. Like if I was 20, I could still move now, I'm 43. But the problem is, if I was like 25, 26, and I was just starting out, my ass would have been gone if I knew about Tennessee like that.
So
Guess what? Here's the thing. Guess what? Tennessee, dumbass Democrat Illinois won't tell you that other states are better. They tell me, "Oh, this state is great. We don't need the military here." What the hell are you talking about? They literally, Alan, when you literally see the fire department, when people get shot and killed on the street, the fire department literally flush their brains down the fucking sewer, and that's what you're drinking, other people's brains and shit.
Yeah, that's
Shit is
not
lunacy.
good. I wouldn't support that at all. I don't support that.
Well, that's the way I have
The
to be. What they
disconnect
gonna do?
again between our generations, and I will say this: I think that you guys think that we're some like hive mind think tank that we all agree on the same things, that we hate you if you disagree. We're not. You guys have been told that, and it honestly kind of sucks to hear you guys all say that. I know that these things are bad. I'm not saying that they're not good.
No, here's the thing. This is the biggest. Hold on, Alan. This is the biggest difference in generations ever. My mother, when my mother and father was still alive, we didn't disagree on none of this shit. Like we had our problems. Remember how our mother used to talk, we used to have to walk to school in the snow. Yeah, but now they got buses. Now we don't have to walk to school. But now y'all got computers where we used to read the newspaper when we were young. Y'all don't need the newspaper. The newspaper, it blinks on your phone and it blinks all that.
You guys got Uber now. Y'all got
You guys know
Uber,
about
Lyft, all
ground news?
that.
Ground news
DoorDash.
kind of rules. Do you guys know about ground news? Because ground news,
Okay,
it's
so,
like it gives you articles on the
gonna
same
let-
thing from like
We're
different
gonna let.
political
Hold on.
perspectives.
We're gonna let
That's what I
Jared
use.
speak, and then what's really going on in America, and then Deontay, and we gotta end it, guys. I gave y'all an extra hour and 30 minutes.
I know.
Like,
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate that.
This has been
So,
fantastic.
Jared, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So the last thing I'm going to say, and I'll keep it pretty short, but Alan, I was kind of alluding to it before. Go into the stats. Like these statistics exist. And I know there's damn lies, and statistics, but go through and actually read the data. When you're talking about, you're talking about abortion. It's 600,000 people, but 42% of those are from the African American community. They have. This is the founder of Planned Parenthood. You follow it all the way back. It was Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist. Like there is good and evil. Nicole hit on it when she was kind of giving her closing points. There is good versus evil in this world. And if you don't recognize that and you say, well, I'm just going to, like I said, you're doing a good job by asking the right asking questions, but don't just say, well, it just, after an hour-long conversation, sometimes you'll just say, well, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. Well, your decisions have to be based on your worldview and on facts.
Yeah.
So I would just implore you to, when you leave here and for the next week, go through and actually look at the facts. Don't listen to the algorithm. Don't pay attention to what the headlines say or what a TikTok post says. Pay attention to go 2 or 3 levels deep. You've got ChatGPT for free. It'll give you plenty of source data. Go through and research it. And, we're at a point now, we've talked about a lot of stuff that's like far left and far right and how we're very, very divided. That's just the nature of it's the nature of politics now in 2025, because that's what they've done to us. When we talk, I'm sitting here on a panel with a bunch of people from Chicago and all over the country. This is something they don't want to happen, because I'm a white guy in East Tennessee on a black guy in Chicago talking to all these other people. They want to divide us on immutable characteristics, and they want to divide us on culture and all this. At the end of the day, we're American citizens. We care about what's happening in this country. And a guy in East Tennessee cares about what's happening in Chicago. I care about what's happening in Baltimore. I care about what's happening in all these other places where people don't get to live a reasonably safe life because of political policies and because of people taking their Second Amendment rights.
That's why I got don't vote blue no matter who in the background, because Democrats suck in these liberal cities.
Right. So
I have one thing. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
And this is a bit of this isn't really a gotcha necessarily, but it's a broad point you guys might not love. I will say this. and because I do understand what you're saying, that like, you vote for a party, you do represent a lot of their views, and you are kind of you're mashed in with the rest of the population, no matter how insane they are that voted for you. We can agree on that. Like that, you're saying that.
Yeah.
What about what's up with like DEI stuff? How are you guys feeling about that? Because there's a lot of you have to admit that there's a lot of real racist people that are voting red.
He's
You
talking
have
about
to admit it.
DEI.
No, but I'm saying like all the talk about the constant race talk,
You're gonna have a damn bro.
I'm not talking about DEI. That's a hot button.
Don't answer more questions like that.
When you saw the North Carolina riots back in 2020, the Unite the Right rally, and it was filled with neo-Nazis. Do you feel that you're part of that population?
Who, me?
Yeah, anyone. No, because you're saying that I subscribe to. They voted for Trump. You know that. You know this. A lot of racist people are voting red. In fact, I'd say most racist people are voting red. Do you think that Kyle, the KKK member, voted Democrat in the last election?
Disingenuous, bro.
There's a lot of racist people voted for Democrats. Democrats, KKK are literally the Democrats, bro. That's what you don't know.
They always have been.
Okay, what about once again? I'm going to bring up Unite the Right. If you're telling me that Democrats are the ones that wanted slavery and that whole rally, that was a pretty big deal.
Who cares what some crazy white people in North Carolina do?
Yeah, but crazy white people that are voting the same way as you guys.
Wait.
You're allowed to box me in with every other liberal and with the population control.
Alan, why did Putin endorse Kamala Harris?
He got him stuck on that.
What? No. First of all, he didn't endorse her. All he wanted was not have Trump. No, he didn't. Endorsing and wanting to stop.
Alan, Putin said he did it because of fighting Biden was weak.
Yes, no, he said no. Putin did not go. He did not say to the American people.
Putin said he went to war because Biden was weak.
Make it harder on him. So yes, of course he's going to vote for the guy that wouldn't. Don't Alan me. If you can find a video of Vladimir Putin saying, vote for Kamala Harris, I'll agree with you. That's endorsement, dude.
Every time you get into this, you get off on another. You move the goalpost. You move on to another topic rather than addressing the one that we were talking about.
And then we debunked that, and
I
then you
didn't
go
bring
to
up Kamala at all. I haven't
No.
even said her name all night.
You brought up one instance where a bunch of KKK people showed up at a place where people were
Jane Goodall and tried to say that I'm for her eugenic program.
I didn't say that. I said
someone said that. You didn't say that. Someone said
I
that.
said Jane Goodall, but I didn't say that you were for that. I said that this is why the population decline is
okay.
That was just making a reference to it about the
people
that want to see that. I'm not equating that to you, but
Okay,
if you have a place where people are protesting statues, there's some KKK people there because it's a Confederate statue, and then you lump that all into the conversation we were having before. You've completely missed the point.
No, I'm saying that it's unfair to do that. I'm saying that it's unfair to do that. I'm saying that wasn't a good point. It's not a good argument. And I'm saying that lumping me in with everybody is honestly kind of an issue. And I think you guys should get away from that way of thinking.
I didn't lump you in with everybody.
Did that.
In the binary option that you've got between left and right, these are the things that you have to weigh. And look at facts and statistics, not the headlines. You throw out a place where a neo-Nazi does something in North Carolina, and all of a sudden you're derailing the whole conversation, and that's not what we're talking about.
That's why I said it was kind of a wild question.
It's not dividing people on immutable characteristics and about having substantive conversations. And when you throw out that, well, more people are killed by guns than by abortion, and you're entirely off, I'm just saying, look at the numbers.
Well, it depends on
look
your
at the
definition of
statistics.
kill. That's what I'm saying. That's more of an opinion base. I was trying to see how you guys were going with that.
I'm going with an argument that you made an hour ago, but
no, that's fair, and it was maybe not the best worded argument, but I got
as a 44-year-old guy. There you go.
Okay, let's get WRGOA. Let's get
Let me ask my
WRGOA.
question. Let me ask my question, Hey, Alan, did you take Alan?
Fair enough, boys.
Hold on a second. Alan, did you take debate class in college or something, bro?
No, actually, I didn't.
Jesus, you would have been great at the debate class or something.
Oh, I know I would have.
Yeah,
Just
he
wanted
would
to
have.
come on here with
So
you boys.
WRGOA.
Go ahead.
Also, I want to say before he talks, I do want to say you're right. That was unfair of me, and I'm sorry. Like you're completely correct. I need to learn to stop doing that. That's my bad on that one, boys.
Yes,
It's okay, Alan. Trust me, brother. You're fine, man.
I'm just trying to throw out my ideas. Well, you also have to admit that I am being surrounded by a bunch of people that adamantly
Dude,
disagree.
I said you have balls for that. I never said that was.
I'm just saying I got to get a little wild to get your guys' attention on.
I respect it.
I never. That's what I said. I respect.
I fully respect it. Yeah.
Don't get mad.
All right, what does World have to say?
So WRGOA, I think you got. I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm gonna give it to Deontay, and I'm ending it there, guys, for sure.
Hey, Alan. Would you be willing to do a show with me? You have been very pleasant on this one.
Thank you. Sure. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. It's called What's Really Going On in America. Just type in at WRGOA and you'll find me.
All right, I'm looking for you right now.
Awesome.
What's really going on in America? You have at WRGOA.
Yeah. Because
right, I'm subscribed right now.
YouTube uses that.
I got you.
And because me and my co-host would love to have you on.
And I think I would love to talk to you.
Awesome. And so get in contact with me because I really want to make this happen. Like T.C.C. said, it'd be better one-on-one with this.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's all up to Alan, because I want to get him on my show too, one-on-one.
Yeah.
So, but it's whatever he want to do,
You got my email, Mr. World. If you want my email, if you want to write it down, if you do want to get in contact.
You know what? I will go on my
Mr. Ward.
Go on my Instagram, WRGOA with an underscore.
Okay, let me find it
on Instagram. Contact me there.
All right, so it's all caps WRGOA with an underscore after it.
Yes, because someone stole mine.
Oh,
it's
all right.
okay,
I'm following
though.
you. I'll hit you a DM.
Awesome. So, but yeah, I would like to make this happen, and so that's going to be like my ending of this episode here, just because I think you're respectful, and I would love to talk to you more about things.
I appreciate it, man. No, it was good talking with you too. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And Deontay, do you got something you want to say before we end this live stream?
Yeah, because I'm gonna say, Alan, check out Sky News Australia. Lefties losing it. It's a good
Sky News Australia lefties losing it. It's a video.
Yeah, Sky News Australia. Her name was Rita. Check it out. It's called Lefties Losing It. And she had a whole YouTube channel about how she loved America, how she liked Trump, and then she see how things are going on from her perspective and how America can do better. And just check her out and do more research and keep on conversations with us.
Yeah, all right, sounds good, man. I looked it up.
Like I said, Alan, if you got any friends, bro, you don't have to be alone. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't mind being alone. No, it doesn't. I like this. I think this is good.
Okay,
I think on what you guys
always
say,
have the more the merrier,
I don't. I know. I hope you guys know that I don't.
You can be on my show as well.
Word.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he got a YouTube channel too, man. That's what I'm saying. You're getting famous, Alan.
Right.
Dude, come on. I'm
on Spotify, iHeartRadio as well. I'm on.
What's it called?
It's a Deontay Red and Ray podcast show at gmail.com.
Oh, am I back? Can you hear me? My phone didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed what you said. What's your show called?
Deontay Red and Ray podcast show.
Got you.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. Well, I'll be around. I'll be around, most definitely. I don't know. I mean, school's starting up now, so I don't know how free I'm going to be some of these nights, but shoot me an email if you want to do anything, or DM me, whatever.
Yeah, go get indoctrinated some more, and
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Man,
I'll
oh my
fight
God.
it for you, boys.
Go ahead.
If I hear
Go ahead,
one,
Mr.
if I hear
President.
one damn
Sit up
lefty
here.
start talking, I'll give them a what for you,
You pay
boys.
you pay probably what 80 grand a year. Pay 80 grand a year to get the wrong information. You can pay me 5 grand. I straighten out the whole life.
I'm sure I could, and you know what? That's fair. That's a good point. You got me there,
How
boys.
much you pay for school? You're in college, right?
I'm
You're in
not
the
getting. We're
DC?
not getting into that, boys. Come on, let's not talk financials.
It's kind of familiar.
All right, guys. All
Well,
right.
I
We
told
got
you
to
how
end
much
it
I made
there.
last time. Now,
Thank
You
you.
did tell me.
We got to end
It
it there,
fluctuates. It depends
guys.
on the scholarships. That's a fair point.
Okay,
It
look,
depends on the
we'll
scholarships.
continue this. We'll continue this Sunday if Alan decides to join
Yeah,
Sunday,
hopefully
or
I can make it.
if he
I'm
wants
on
to get
Sunday.
any of you guys' podcast up, Jared. If I'm pretty sure he's a pretty cool guy, so I'm pretty sure he'll let you on his podcast as well. If you
Absolutely.
want
All right.
one-on-one with him.
Jared. Jared, your
But,
channel is Continue Freedom, right? I think I subbed to you last time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
we
Continue
all
freedom.
coming to move to Tennessee with Jared. The hell with this
There
shit.
you
up
go.
here.
Bring it, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds good, boys.
And yes, guys, and I just want to throw this announcement out again. I will be on Fox News tomorrow around 4 p.m. Central Time on Will Kane. If you guys like Will Kane, then you're gonna definitely love it when I'm on there. So let me read my top 10 so we can end the live stream. We got Laura Slug at number 1. Appreciate that. We got Miss Latanya at number 2. We got Sharon at number 3. We got T.S. Puma at number 4. We got Squid Man at number 5. We got Nicole Coco at 6. We got Simply Rose at number 7. Kelly Settles at number 8. Thank you for becoming a member, as well as Snotface. Yep, as well as Snotface. Thank you for becoming a member. We got Stephen Crumley at 9. And we got ET4615 at 10. And everybody else, thank you as well for joining the live stream. I really do appreciate all the love.
Yes, sir.
Continue Freedom.
Thank you, man.
What's going on in America? Deontay, we had Mitch, we had Nicole, we had Mr. Dennis, we had everybody, guys. We had everybody.
It was great. This has been good. I think this is good.
Most importantly, we had my best friend, Alan, guys.
Yes, we did. It was so good to see you guys. No, I mean, like, I'm joking, but like, actually, it's been. Thank you, guys, all of you, Nicole, all of you guys. I appreciate hearing what you have to say. This is great.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love y'all guys, man. But I have to end the panel here, guys. I gave y'all an extra hour and 45
I appreciate it. I think it was good. I think that's some good stuff.
Here.
I had some fun.
I'll see you guys next time, and I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace
All right.
out.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
And Jared, once again, I'm sorry for that very condescending point that I made earlier. You're right. That was pretty bad.